my goodness. We are... Okay. Making sure you can hear. Alright, here we go. We're getting ready for the court case. Thanks for the resub, Peter. Daveon Jones already calling me. What you want?
Where you at?
I'm on my way.
What?
I'm on my way to court. What you doing?
Oh, okay. Oh, nothing. So we gonna hit them sheets later or what?
No, we ain't gonna hit the sheets.
Yeah.
You best have my baby up there.
We gonna have a good time tonight at the court.
Where's my baby at? You got him up to the courthouse?
Oh yeah, my mama bringing him.
Your mama better be bringing him.
Alright, gotta go.
I'll see you there. Daveon Jones done hung up on me. Let's go. That's right. That's right. We gotta get in this this pokey little car. We gotta get up here to the courthouse. I had to run down to the cat cafe real quick, grab some food, cause I had no drinks and like a few cheese toasties. So had to go get some food before we started this. BJ with the cheers. Thank you. I'm ready. I've been so hyped about this all day. All week, actually. Since we actually nailed down a day and a time where everybody could make it, I've been so unbelievably excited about this court case. Okay. Sorry. I just ran a red light. That was a really weird light, though. Right on red? We got this. We got this. We got like a little less than 10 minutes before it starts. This little Lexus is a boat. Well, let me tell you. I think parking is at the front. Oh my gosh. Oh, I gotta get her walk on. I forgot to set her walk. Just cause she gotta be prissy when she walks. Now we're gonna check out this outfit real quick. She went and got her a new little outfit today. Couldn't be coming in here looking like a hooker. We gotta make sure we leave with that baby. We can't let him go home with Daveon. He gonna have that kid out on the street selling drugs. Caught up in all kinds of mess. Somebody got a bag on their head?
Yeah, you can't even shoot anything. Is that the girl? You get to see the shoot.
Hey, sweetie.
Don't even come at me like that, Daveon. Where's your mama at?
She on her way? She on her way, sweetheart.
Don't be calling me
so
sweetheart.
We gonna hit them sheets or what? Yeah, we gonna hit the sheets after this.
No, I'm done with you.
Let me show you what this thing do.
Oh, I know what it is.
I'm gonna give you this right here, look.
Hey, Dan.
What?
You wanna
Turn this on.
you wanna talk over here?
Zeb! Glad you could make it.
This your favorite right here.
Yeah.
Look at it.
No.
Just the way you like it, sweetheart.
No. Don't be trying to throw it back for me now. I ain't having it. Oh my gosh. He's straight up attacking this daggum courthouse while everybody's standing here. Oh my jeez. What a little hoodlum.
So they just gonna spread our territory up? Or what?
Look at this courthouse, though. That's nice. I'm so excited. It's gonna be so much fun. So, oh Zebby, don't do me like that. So we got Daveon in the pink suit. He looked like he's going to church. And then West.
Yeah, go ahead.
West. Zeb. And then you got Danny. Danny is the one in the white pants.
I don't have nothing to take care of him.
He's the one that's representing Daveon. Oh my gosh, Bubbles made it! I almost messaged her earlier and then I saw where Darth had put it in the chat that we were doing it tonight. Because when I come on as my doctor character, Jovi, me and Bubbles, we'll talk. If there's been baby mama drama, as we call it, we'll pull it up like on Twitter and she'll tell me about it.
How are you?
Hello, I am doing fantastic. How are you?
I'll be a lot better after. Thank you. I'll feel a lot better after we walk out of here with full custody of Kizech.
Absolutely. He said his mama bringing that baby up here. She ain't showing up yet. I'm waiting. He better be gonna get him.
Send it.
Hey, Bluetooth real quick.
Yeah, can I get you here as soon as possible?
I don't know if he's talking to me or Darth.
I can let you in. I'm right here on the steps of the main entrance. So basically, you're just gonna be kind of. I mean, obviously you're bailiff, but I'm gonna have you.
We'll see. Yeah, they got the whole town coming up. Him just running all over the place. Okay, I guess he was talking to me, but I
don't know who did that.
was not sure. Brian's live too. Pretty sure from last I heard Brian was gonna be here. Yeah, we're going to court is what it says, so Brian is streaming it too, so he'll have it from that point of view. It's gonna be awesome.
What'd you say?
First time Davion's been on this side of the courthouse. You right. You are right. I'm telling you, he's a little troublemaker.
Hey, you expect to win against her? She's gonna fucking win, and you're not gonna have no custody of your child, buddy. Sorry.
He don't need custody of that child.
Sorry.
Win shit.
No, she's gonna win.
No.
I'm going for Brewhead Rady.
Listen. The baby was roaming the fucking
So I'm gonna post
streets.
you at front door detail.
Well, that's not her problem. That's the baby's problem for roaming around and shit.
Yeah, well, I know you're subpoenaed, but
Like,
before
why the-
everybody gets in the courtroom, I want to get people searched. No firearms.
Like,
nothing
why the
that.
fuck does the baby have to keep running around? You know what the
Right,
fuck is the
right.
baby's problem? You know what I mean?
His daddy just letting him run wild, doing whatever he want to do.
Yeah, exactly. Why the fuck would he be doing that? Are you fucking kidding me? Right? You're
That's
supposed
what
to
I
be taking
said.
care of the goddamn baby.
That's
Taking
what
care
I
of the damn
said.
baby.
You
Yeah,
tell
fuck
him.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
no,
know
I got
who
you
the-
ready. You know, I vote for you.
I appreciate
I vote for you. Yeah. And I'll take
I
you
don't
home for
know how to
dinner
do
later
like a-
tonight, okay? Sure, we'll go out for some dinner,
okay.
you know, if you'd right.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. I'm a good man. You're right. I'll be a real baby daddy. You know what I mean? I'll take care of him.
Hey, Kelly. I don't know why I have spray cans on me. I don't know why I have painkillers either. I still have a drink. Oh, it's still locked. How are they going? Oh, that one's locked. Just the one side.
Don't mind me. Don't mind me.
Look at it.
Yeah.
Everybody getting searched.
These guys all good in here?
She's right there. She's there.
Damn, he's going to jail.
Seriously,
She
dude?
might have drugs on her.
What? You gonna walk
Ma'am,
me?
Yes, I-
come over here, ma'am. Come here, ma'am.
I heard no firearms.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Hi. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Go another side. Another door. Kizech.
Alright,
Yo, mama.
Hey, baby. What you doing? You have fun with Grandma?
I miss you, mama.
I miss you too. Did you have fun with Grandma?
No.
No?
He always feeds me crayon.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Look, I got you some snacks, okay? Here you go.
Snack?
Yeah, some snacks. Got some
Gimme.
little kitty cake pops. And I got you some of those little drinks that you like. Okay? You remember Mr. Dawes?
Hey, Kizech, how you doing?
Yo, what's up?
Give him a lollipop.
Yeah, I got some little cake pops I gave him.
You got any cake pops?
Nah, buddy, I'm fresh out. We can go get some after the trial if you'd like. You know what? I might actually have a cherry blow pop in my car console. You want me to go check?
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, I'ma need that.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Stay right here. He gonna come back.
Mama,
Uh-huh, baby.
I hustled me a cherry pie.
Yeah, he gonna go see if he got you a cherry sucker.
Yo,
Yeah. Did you get that toy yesterday?
no.
It's Jade is playing the kid.
I never got a toy.
He never got. Oh my god, we'll go get you that toy later, okay?
You got my cherry pie?
There you go.
Oh my gosh. You getting all kind of treats today.
All right, let's go ahead and head in the courtroom.
Okay, come on, baby.
Is it my bird?
Yeah, bring your pop in here. Let's get that door.
My bad. Oh. Hello. Excuse me.
Come on.
I only got one person tonight already.
Do you need to look at me real quick?
Yeah, you don't have any drugs or anything on you, do you?
No, sir. No, sir.
Do
I
you,
don't
do you mind if I
that.
search you?
No, you go right ahead.
Alright.
What a drug, Mr. Dove.
What's that?
What a drug.
What are the
Alright, you're good.
drugs?
Just keep your phone off, okay?
I said, what are
Okay.
drugs?
Oh, what are drugs?
We don't worry about that, okay, baby? You don't need to worry about that. All right, come on,
Okay,
we're gonna go
Mom.
sit down.
Cute kid.
Thank you. Oh. says it's locked.
I got
This
the keys.
platform 9 3/4.
Y'all going in?
Yeah, we're going in.
There you go.
The child is in.
Whoop. The other side's locked. Whew. There we go.
Woo! Got Brewhead ready! Yeah!
Kizech!
Mama.
Oh my God! You're not
Sit
gonna hold
back
it for
just a
her
little
or
bit,
what?
I'm
buddy.
taking you home tonight.
You can take it.
Oh, sure. Sit in the middle, right?
She'll have any money.
Mama.
Uh-huh.
She's been passed around the whole block.
Yeah,
No,
baby.
that's a lot. You guys stop it.
Don't worry, I'll be the better baby daddy.
You ain't shit.
Easy.
You want to sit with Uncle Zebby?
Trying to all squeeze on a bench.
Yeah, apparently it's really hard to do so.
You can sit on my lap.
One of us sit
I
on
want to sit with you.
Hey, Zach, you can sit on his lap, bro. You just said you can.
Come hang out by the table, okay?
And, I
Get
think
you some
Buck
colors.
prefer if you sat on his lap.
Stranger danger.
Okay, come hang out right over here.
How many times do you think he says that per night?
You want some coloring? You just sit right here and you can color, okay? I am dying. This is great.
Are either party waiting for more individuals who need to be here?
Hey, make sure you put your phone in airplane mode.
Yeah, the plaintiff's head pop. He's on his way.
Baby, you want to just stand up
All
real
right.
quick?
Yeah, we are waiting on my
I wanna take a
client.
picture.
He,
Just
swiped down.
he's having issues.
Oh yeah.
So if it rings, it rings.
Hey, is that Darth? Is that the chief of
Yeah,
police?
yeah, that's Darth. I think it is.
He's a bitch, isn't he? He's a big bitch.
Is that
You know what I
Darth?
mean?
He has the same neck.
He's a big
What?
bitch.
I'm pretty sure that's. He has an. Yes.
He's put a lot of weight on since I've last seen him.
I haven't seen him in a while either. It's been a minute.
Okay.
I haven't seen him in a while either, but
He's waving at
Put on a lot of
everything.
weight.
He's still looking good. I don't
no,
know.
he used to be
Look
skinny.
at that little guy.
It's like he's seen too much of the refrigerator.
Thank you. Thank you. I bet the only exercise
good
he gets is
job.
when he walks to the fridge.
You look pretty, Mama.
Yeah, no, I have no idea. I mean, he looks
Yeah,
like
you
he's
look
changed
you
a
look
lot,
great,
you know what I
baby.
mean?
You look great.
Besides
know
the
what to
way,
make
I
out
don't
of it.
notice anything else different.
He looks overweight. He looks bigger than that
Oh,
lady.
thank you, Mr. Jones.
Okay,
What are the
here's your
chances
colors
if you
back.
run from him? What are the chances of getting away?
We can take that kid. We can grab the kid and run.
0.0, pal.
Ain't nobody grabbing this baby.
No, I'm not grabbing you, baby. I'm grabbing your baby, baby. Don't
You
worry.
ain't grabbing my baby and taking him nowhere.
Oh my God.
Trying to get out my
I'm
kid
talking
from the
about you,
courtroom.
baby. I'm not talking about your baby, baby.
This guy is. I can't. I can't.
Or I'll take you out to Chick-fil-A. You go to Chick-fil-A, get some, get a nice dinner at Chick-fil-A.
Oh my
Hey,
God.
Junior, you like Chick-fil-A?
Mama,
Baby.
I want Chick-fil-A.
We'll get Chick-fil-A later, okay?
I'll give you the kid nuggets. Your order 6-piece.
I want lemonade.
Yeah, you get a lemonade with the junior fries, you know.
All right. Is everybody who needs to be here here?
Yeah.
All right. Stand by just a moment.
This is great. Matt's streaming it too. Let me see.
Hey, so I still have my sawed-off shotgun on me. Is the police not gonna take it? I thought we were getting searched.
Oh my gosh.
So I can keep the shotgun with me? Okay.
Put that on like do not disturb, but or
I think
the
we got one
airplane
more
mode, but
person
I
coming
think
in.
it's yes, baby.
I can hear you walking, motherfucker.
Can this guy go on?
Hey, don't repeat what you hear them saying, okay, baby? Don't be saying them words.
Hey,
I
officer, I
know,
think we got one more
Mama.
person that needs let in.
Edie says those words.
Yeah, don't be repeating nothing you hear, okay? Them ain't nice words. Let's see if I can link their stuff. There we go. That's Brian's Twitch. Deputy SO is Brian. He's playing Lieutenant Street, and then Matt, Merciful Streamer, is playing.
Hi, Hector. Come sit next
I
to
think
Bubbles.
he's on his Mac character, his DOJ type character.
Hey guys.
Superfied, thanks for the resub.
There you go.
I hope I
You
don't
guys
lose.
want
I
that?
hope Daveon loses.
Come on, tough spot.
Leave y'all over there.
It's better than 2 girls, 1 cup.
Oh no.
With him.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh.
I'll sit with Bubbles.
Alright.
Somebody had to make that joke.
Now, well, let me see here.
Hey, 2 girls, 1 cup is gross.
Yeah, no. I don't know who that. Some of
All
those guys
rise.
Get your asses
Just
out
up.
off the tables.
Court is now in
Yeah,
session.
baby,
The
it's
Honorable
okay.
Judge White is presiding.
Judge White. Put your hands down, baby. Put your hands down. It's
Alright, everyone, you can take. Okie dokie. Some housekeeping things to begin with. First of all, can everybody hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
What about all the people in the gallery in the back?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And the
we-
EMT in the back right corner, can you hear me?
Just barely.
Okay, if you can't hear me, I recommend either going up to the gallery overhead or trying to find yourself a little bit closer seating, because I don't think we can speak
Oh, I
any
didn't
louder.
know that there was a gallery.
Okay.
For the time being, at least.
If you're in the back of the gallery, there's available seating upstairs. If you cannot hear the judge speaking, then
They
you should
do
move
have
to
some
them.
like
Do you want to go upstairs?
seats on the side
Bailiff,
for
you may
like
have
a
to
jury. I
unlock
wonder
the
if they
doors
could
to
do
the
a
gallery
jury
upstairs.
trial
I got keys.
for stuff.
Oh, he's got keys. We're good.
Jack's a lawyer. He got keys.
Okie dokie. So that means everybody that's left can still hear me? Fantastic.
Yep.
Yes.
Couple more housekeeping things. There will be no flash photography permitted during the course of the trial. If I see anyone with a camera that has a flash, I'm going to kick you out. It's as simple as that. Any comments from the peanut gallery back there? Anyone who speaks out of turn who's not involved in this case, I will kick you out, or I'll have you charged in contempt. and we'll take you downstairs to our nice new prison cells that the gentleman that's down there recently learned it is illegal to bring drugs and narcotics into a courthouse.
Oh, damn.
That's what Street got him for.
As for everything else, I would like to make a comment, as I'm sure the individuals who perpetrated the act are probably in this courtroom. Whoever defaced the courthouse with the blue paint that says "firm," you best hope that you never come in front of me as a judge or any member, because you've disrespected the court, and you cannot expect any sort of leniency from us. I don't ever want to see that again. Make that as a lesson to everybody else that's left. If you deface the courthouse, you deface the court. All right. Now, this is just a
I saw
a simple,
Skittles back there.
Well, it's not. There's nothing simple about family court, but this is just a simple family court matter. So, with that being said, I don't want to delay it too much longer. Am I to understand, if I can answer from both the attorneys here, am I to understand that arbitration to this point has been found unsuccessful?
Correct, Your Honor.
And who's my attorney for the defendant here?
Reverend Darth, Your Honor.
Okay. And for the plaintiff?
It is Darth. Daniel Smith, Your Honor.
Daniel Smith. So Mr. Darth and Mr. Smith. All right. So Mr. Smith, am I to understand that from your understanding, arbitration has also failed in this matter?
That is correct.
And we're all in understanding here that today the court, when it makes its ruling, will be in the best interest of the child, not in the best interest of the parents. This court case is about the welfare and the well-being and what is best for the child, not for you two here, as you two had your chance to make it work together and you couldn't. Is this clear?
Yes,
yes, sir, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, family proceedings are not traditional court. They're not a simple criminal. They're not a simple criminal case. They're a little bit more complicated than that. There will be no jury of your peers. You'll be making your case directly to me. You'll be talking directly to me, and I may ask questions. You, of course, can present witnesses to speak to your case that you have comprised. However, at any point, I may also ask the witness questions, and I may also ask either of the plaintiff or the defendant questions, and they will be required to answer. They will be expected to answer truthfully. I do not think that we will need to swear them in. However, if I feel that is necessary, I will ask the bailiff to swear you guys in. Is that understood?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, I know family court can sometimes be messy, so I'd like to try and keep this as clean as possible. Let's without further ado, let's go ahead and get this underway. We'll start with opening remarks from either side. We'll start with the plaintiff and then the defendant.
Let me get off the table. Your Honor, we're here today because my client...
Sorry, Mr. Smith, you can go ahead and approach the pulpit there. There you go.
Oh. Okay. We're here today, Your Honor, because my client, Daveon Jones, is seeking full sole custody of his son. It is in his belief that the mother, Nevaeh Shaw, has shown lack of judgment and care for said child, and we feel it is in the best interest that he come live with the father full time. Without hesitation, we'd like to just call our first witness.
We will do so after we give the defendant time to make their opening remarks as well, right?
Absolutely. The first request that I would have is that we excuse the child from the courtroom, as it's not a place for the child.
Mr. Darth, do you have any comments on this matter?
Give me a second to consult with my client, sir. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, we can call the babysitter, but it's a little
I should rephrase. May stay, but we would like for him to sit in the gallery with one of the patrons watching, rather than sitting on the floor by the table.
Sorry, is the child is in the not in the gallery? Where I can't see.
Yes, sir, Your Honor. The child is sitting right next to the mother.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and grant that wish. Can we?
Can we request that the child be placed with one of the officers in the gallery?
Absolutely, I would have it no other way unless there's
No
another
objection.
member of the family here.
I mean, his uncle Zeb is here, but he will be on the stand at some point. So we have no objections to sitting with an officer.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and have the child go with the officer.
Let's sit with this policeman over here.
It'll be all right, Kizech.
It's okay. Look, he's right here. Yeah, take
he's
your
a good
coloring
guy.
book. Take your coloring book.
Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. We'll go down there and get some candy.
Mommy.
We're gonna be all candied up today.
Come on, hop on up
Okay,
on this
after
bench,
that,
buddy.
we have no further opening statement.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Darth.
Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the court, appreciate your time today. Obviously, what we're here for is no laughing matter. It's a very serious tone. Anytime the future and well-being of a child is involved, it's obviously of the highest importance. Today, unfortunately, we're here to determine, sole custody rights. My client, Ms. Shaw, has been brought forth by the plaintiff. As I'm sure you will hear today, you're going to hear a hardworking, very independent and strong woman try to have her character defamed and slandered in an attempt to make it seem that she is unfit to care and provide for her child. You may hear today about certain arrests that coincidentally have happened in the previous 24 hours that may allude to the fact that somehow makes her incapable of depending for her child and providing what it needs for a sustainable and happy, nurturing life. It is our hope today that after presented with the evidence, after presented with witness testimony, that there is in fact somebody in the courtroom that does have a lengthy criminal history, violent criminal history, a history of hanging out with oftentimes the wrong crowd. And it is our hope today, after hearing all the evidence presented in this court hearing, that you would come to the realization that the only thing that matters is what's in the best interest of the child. And after today, what is presented, we hope that you would find that to be the case, that the best interest of the child would be to remain in the custody of his mother. Thank you.
Thank you very much, counselors. Okay,
Yeah,
Mr.
his father offered me cracker, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm not. Who just spoke from the gallery?
This guy thinks he's gonna get kicked out of here.
Was it above the gallery?
I believe it came from behind us, Your Honor.
You can either stand up or I can just have everyone say one word. Or you can just be quiet.
It was one of them on the front row, right outside.
No, it's the guy behind me. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Listen, buddy. If you're gonna say some stuff, you're gonna try and influence the opinion of the court. You're gonna try and sway the court. I will just have you taken to the cells downstairs. And you'll spend the entire trial downstairs in a 4x4 cell with a nice padded bed and a stainless steel toilet.
Sorry, guys.
Is that what you want?
Work was calling.
Okay, didn't think so. All right, Mr. Smith, you can go ahead and proceed with your case.
All right, Your Honor, the first witness I would like to call to the stand is Daveon Jones.
Mr. Jones, you can go ahead and take the stand off to my right here. That's yeah, there you go. Bailiff, if you'd be so kind as to just swear Mr. Jones in before he takes a seat.
Mr. Jones,
You're here, very good, buddy. Do you want to go up to the next seat?
Raise your hands if you're able.
Is there something on the roof that we're supposed to look at?
Okay, I'll assume that you can't. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. My hands are up.
Oh, okay. I didn't see it. Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes.
You may be seated.
Your Honor, Your Honor, may I approach a little closer so that I can hear the witness's statements?
Witness, make sure you're speaking as loud as possible, yeah?
What about now, Darth? You hear me?
That'll be fine.
Alright, fantastic. Mr. Smith, you may continue.
Okay, can you state your name for the record?
Daveon Jones.
Alright, Mr. Jones. We'll just get right into the specifics. I don't care about the opinions. I want the facts, the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. For my first question, can you tell the court what you do for a living?
Part owner and Pop's Diner in Polito, and also am the majority owner of PDM North in Harmony.
Okay, so you're part owner of Pop's Diner, and primary owner of PDM North, correct?
That's correct.
All right. Working two jobs. What kind of hours does that entail?
I don't work the diner a whole lot. I usually work PDM about 8 in the morning to 5 p.m. The other crew will come in and finish out the day. Pops, I have two other owners at Pops with me. They usually take care of a lot down there. I don't have to worry about much down there. But with me being the majority owner down here at PDM North, I have to spend most of my time there.
Okay. Can you just tell the court what you do for housing? You know, where do you live? You live alone? You rent? You own? You got roommates?
So right now I live alone in an apartment on Integrity Way. Looking to buy a house here soon, but that's in the works. But right now I do live in an apartment by myself.
Okay. Is that apartment a 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, 4?
It's a 1 bedroom.
Okay. If granted custody of this child, you would agree that moving into a 2 bedroom would be sufficient, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. If you were to be granted sole custody today, what would you do for child care from the hours of 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. As you're working?
My mother, she's retired. She'll be watching the kid while I'm at work. After work, I'd pick him up from my mother's house, and he would spend the rest of the night with me.
Okay, so in your opinion, she's pretty reliable?
Yeah.
As the defendant or respondent, however you want to classify them, mentioned in his opening statements a lengthy criminal history. I just want a question. Have you ever made mistakes?
I have. Everybody makes mistakes.
Okay. How long ago was your last arrest?
My last arrest is going to be around 30 days now.
Okay. Your Honor, I would like the court to reflect that we have filed for an expungement of that record. My client has shown his turnaround and has stayed out of trouble for the 28 days that is required for an expungement. So that is on file.
When was the expungement requested?
I think I can quash this argument before we even get started with it.
Yeah.
The court will actually take into consideration previous and current criminal records. Although I do understand what you're trying to say, and Mr. Daveon, I do appreciate. Sorry, I apologize if I butchered your name there. But I do appreciate obviously you staying out of trouble. But it is something that the court will consider as any sealed records, past records, or active records.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Jones, in your own words, could you just explain to me what makes you think that you're a better fit to raise a child?
In my honest opinion, I have a job, I have vehicles, I'll spend time with them, do whatever it has to do to care for my child. I just feel like I'm the best fit because I'm actually working and trying to do better for myself.
Okay. One last question. If you were given a drug screen at this time, do you think that you would pass?
Absolutely.
All right. Your Honor, no further questions. You can open it up to cross-examination.
Thank you very much, Counselor. Mr. Darth,
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
do your due diligence.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Jones, what's your definition of a mistake?
A mistake is something that you do and you regret. A mistake is something that you wish you didn't do.
Do you learn from mistakes, in your opinion?
Yes. Yes, sir, I do.
Okay, and what would you objectify that to be, in your opinion? Like, how would you objectifiably measure that somebody has learned from their mistakes?
By not doing the mistakes that they made.
Okay. So, for example, if somebody were to get arrested 3 or 4 times in one day, is that an example of learning from the mistakes?
It is not.
Okay. Mr. Jones, have you ever been arrested 3 times in one day?
It's a possibility.
Your Honor, I'd like to reflect on public record of Mr. Jones's previous arrests. I'd like to just spend a few moments on that report, sir.
Do you have a report you can send me?
Yes, sir. I'll send that right now.
Yeah, better be a hair test. I'm glad he got that wig off.
You can go ahead and present it to the plaintiff as well.
I've never gotten to do any kind of court RP, and this is awesome. Like, the RP leading up to it has been so good because we had interactions and stuff last night too. Oh my gosh.
There's a spider on the podium, Your Honor. I apologize.
It's alright, old building like this. I mean, feels like it's brand new, but you know.
Okay. Now, Mr. Jones, I take it you've had a chance to take a look at this record I'm referring to?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the date in question I'm referring to would be April the 24th of this year, 2022. Now, how many times does it show that you've been arrested on that day?
It shows I was arrested 3 times.
Okay. Now, were these simple, nonviolent misdemeanor offenses?
No, sir.
No? What were they regarding?
Assault, fleeing and looting.
Assault on
robbery. Looks like an officer.
who? On an officer. That's a pretty big mistake, is it not?
It is.
Okay. Now, would you say that you have a history prone to assaulting or hurting officers?
It looks like I've done it a few times.
Quite a few times, correct?
Yes, sir.
Total of 4 times, to be exact. Now, based off what you've just testified to as the definition of learning from a mistake, would you say that you learned from your mistakes?
I'd say I have. Yeah, after that.
After assaulting officers 4 separate occasions?
Yes,
You
I
would
have.
still testify that you learned from your initial mistake of assaulting an officer?
That's correct.
Now, assault can be conflicted, right? Assault could technically be a verbal assault, in your opinion, correct, according to the law?
Correct.
Were these verbal assaults, Mr. Jones?
No, sir, it was not.
Did you shoot at officers, Mr. Jones?
Yes, I did.
Did those officers suffer almost life-threatening injuries, Mr. Jones?
Yes, sir, they did.
Is that a simple mistake, in your opinion, Mr. Jones?
No.
Is that the type of behavior that best suits raising a child in this city, Mr. Jones?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, let's go back to that definition of mistakes. Would you agree that mistakes may have different contextual definitions?
Correct.
Okay. Now, for example, would it be your opinion that, maybe accidentally bumping your car into another car while trying to park would be considered a potential mistake? Is that in your opinion? Would you agree with that?
Yes, I would.
Okay. Now, shooting at officers at multiple occasions, does that fit the same standard of the definition of said mistake?
No, it does not.
Okay. Now, would you agree that it may not be beneficial for a child for their guardian to be in prison for extended amounts of time?
Yes.
Okay. Would you agree that the guardian of a child should associate themselves with well-rounded people and not criminals with lengthy records?
I would agree if they knew about it.
If they knew about it? Okay. You know who a Jade Petrova is, Mr. Jones?
I do.
When was the last time you spoken to Miss Petrova?
It's probably
Objection irrelevant,
Under what grounds?
because it doesn't matter who he talks to.
Your defendant or your plaintiff just agreed that association is relevant when it comes to best interest of a child.
I stand by the objection.
I'm gonna let it play out. I understand your objection, and I hear it. I don't want any guilty by association remarks being made here, Mr. Darth. As we all know, that's not exactly constitutional.
No,
so
sir.
Just be careful where we're going.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. So I'll play off of. I'll backtrack to Mr. Jones's initial answer, depending on knowingly or unknowingly. I'll phrase it as that. Will that work, Your Honor?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Mr. Jones, would you agree that if you knowingly knew that somebody was up to no good and had a history of criminal behavior, that in the best interest of a child, you should probably disassociate from that person?
Correct, if you knew.
If you knew.
If you knew. If you know nothing about it, therefore you can't.
Okay. Now, if you yourself had committed a felony with said person on multiple occasions, would that equate to you knowing that that person has a criminal tendency?
Correct.
Okay. Mr. Jones, according to your arrest report, have you committed felonies and assaults on officers under the accompaniment of others?
Correct.
Okay. Was that done more than one time with the same person?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Now, Mr. Jones, what exactly were you doing yesterday between the hours of 5 and 7 p.m.?
I was running my business.
You're running
I
your...
got off of my work at 6:30. Was stay late and do some more paperwork. Then left and went straight home to prepare for my court case today.
Okay. Do you recall an incident that happened with Miss Shaw?
I did meet up with her. She asked for money, which I gave her a total of $4,000. She said my kid wanted a new toy and some clothes.
Okay.
We exchanged
Now,
the money, and I left.
did that occur between the hours that I specifically stated?
It could have. I don't really know off the top of my head.
Not off the top of your head. Do you recall picking up Kizech?
I do, when she was arrested.
Okay. And where were you when that happened?
I was in Lee.
You were in Legion?
Yes.
Okay. Now, was this before or after you had met with Miss Shaw?
This was after.
This was after? Where did you meet with Miss Shaw at to exchange money?
At Legion.
At Legion? Okay. Now, have you ever been aware of Miss Shaw using drugs?
It's been brought up a few times to my attention that she has been.
I didn't ask to your attention if you have seen her use drugs.
I have not seen her use drugs, no.
Okay. Have you ever seen her in possession of drugs?
No.
Okay. Now, I have a record here of a 911 call that was made yesterday. Your Honor, I'd like to submit this to the court as evidence.
Okay. Yep. Go ahead.
Here it goes. little, standing back there by himself. Well, he's with Jenkins, but he's standing there on a little bench.
Okay, I take it all parties involved have received that document? Okay. Okay. So, Mr. Jones, as I stated yesterday, between the hours of 5 and 7 p.m., there was a 911 call placed, and I have that record here that I provided to you. Do you see that in front of you, sir?
That's correct. I placed that 911 call.
Okay. Now, how were you aware that there were drugs in the vehicle?
My child told me.
Your child told you? Okay. Does your child know what drugs are?
No, but he said, "Mommy's candy's in the car."
Okay. Has there been a reference to candy equating to drugs in the past that you're aware of?
Yes. It's not the first time Kizech has said that.
Oh. Now let me get this straight. Is this referring to one of the times you had heard through the grapevine that Miss Shaw had been using drugs? Did that include Kizech's description of candy?
Correct.
Okay. Did you report Miss Shaw before?
No, because I thought he was just saying things.
Okay. But conveniently last night you took it upon yourself to check to see if now this time that it was true?
Correct.
Okay. Now what compelled you to do that?
Because I wanted to know if it was in the vehicle or not, with my child around it.
Now how many times had Kizech referred to Mommy's candy, would you say, on average?
Probably 2 or 3 times.
2 or 3 times? But 24 hours before a custody battle, you chose to report her this time? Or check to see that Kizech was indeed not mistaken, I guess?
I don't see him all the time. She comes in every so often. It was just my chance to check.
Just your chance to check. Now, did you do this when Miss Shaw was present?
Yes, she was there the whole time.
She witnessed you open her glove box and find drugs?
No, I called the police and they found them.
But she witnessed you open the glove box to see the drugs?
No, I never looked in the glove box.
You never looked in the glove box?
I never touched her car.
Okay. You weren't inside the car?
No. I have no business in her vehicle.
Okay. Have you ever been inside her vehicle?
No.
Okay. And again, your testimony here today is that you've never seen Miss Shaw actively using drugs, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Okay. No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Mr. Smith, do you wish to recross or redirect?
It's up to whoever. I don't mind.
Sorry, I was asking your lawyer.
Yeah, I just have a couple questions that I would like to ask.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mr. Jones, as you stated, your child has told you about Mommy's candy 2 or 3 times previous to this, correct?
That's correct.
Can I just ask you why you didn't report that at that time?
My son is he's almost 3 now. 3-year-olds can say things. I've let it go the last 1 or 2 times he's told me that. But third time, I figured there was something in the car. So I decided to call the police.
Okay, so the prior the prior topic is that you would be in agreement that he was young and you couldn't quite comprehend exactly what he was trying to say.
Correct.
Okay. Is it in agreement that as he got older, it became more clear as the fact that he started speaking more, he was able to use his words?
Mr. Jones,
Yes, sir.
did you hear Mr. Smith's question?
Yeah, I said correct.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear it.
I did not hear that either.
Okay, maybe I didn't.
Any further questions, Mr. Smith?
Yeah, on the topic of your previous history with criminal activity, the respondent has brought up Ms. Jade Petrova. Do you still associate with her today?
We're in contact, yes.
Objection, Your Honor. Same reasons as I was objected to.
Could you
Relevance. Guilt by association.
I'll get to the relevance.
You brought it up, counselor. So
May I
have to
proceed?
if I allowed it for you, I have to allow it for him.
That's okay.
Go ahead, Mr. Smith.
All right, Mr. Jones. Is it public record that Jade Petrova is part owner of Pop's Diner as well?
That's correct.
Okay. Have you been arrested or even stopped for any criminal activity within the last 30 days with Ms. Jade Petrova?
I have not.
So you would agree that it's safe to say that you've distanced yourself from that criminal activity?
That's correct.
All right, Your Honor, I have no further cross-examination.
Thank you very much, Mr. Smith.
Thank you.
Mr. Darth, I'll give you one last chance to recross. Or redirect, rather. I apologize.
Mr. Jones, you previously stated it maybe took you a minute before you caught on to what your son was saying, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. You a quick learner, Mr. Jones?
I am sweating.
Okay.
It's making me nervous here.
What was the
listening to it.
time frame in reference to the last time Kizech had referred to Candy versus yesterday's events?
It's probably been a few months.
Okay. So in that 2-month time, without a persistent mention of Candy, you were able to properly determine that he was referencing Candy to potentially drugs?
I mean, there's not many things he could have been mentioning.
Could he have honestly mentioned Candy? And meant Candy?
It's possible that he did.
It's possible that he was actually referencing Candy. And you did testify earlier that you haven't actually witnessed Miss Shaw either in possession of nor using drugs, correct?
That's correct.
But after a second or third mentioning of the word Candy, you implied that that meant drugs and decided to make the police report?
That's correct.
Okay. All right. No further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Jones, I have a few questions for you.
Go ahead.
Okay. Obviously, looking over your criminal record here, I mean, it's pretty clear to see that maybe not currently, but previously you had an issue with the police. Have you made steps to sort of rehabilitate that relationship you have with the police? I mean, I understand being a young African American male in the United States is not exactly a good relationship to have with the police to begin with, and that has nothing to do with you, but has there been any effort on your part to try and deal with that, the clear anger you had towards the law enforcement?
Oh yeah, I talk to him all the time. I haven't did no crimes against him in the last 30 days at least. I have no problems with him at this moment.
Okay, and when you when you did commit those crimes, where you were shooting at cops and whatnot, what led you to that point?
I was in a rough patch there. Got mixed up with a rough crowd, and went and did some things that I shouldn't have.
And was that before or after your kid was born?
It was before I knew about him.
Okay. Oh, so you didn't know about your kid before he was.
No, I knew right after he turned 2.5.
Okay. So this is a recent discovery. How old is your child now?
He'll be 3 in October.
3 in October. All right. I don't think I have any further questions. If I have any more, I'll
Was
just
he
ask
in
them to
your
you, but,
car
that's good. Thank you very
yesterday?
much.
Alrighty, I can sit down.
Go ahead.
I'm
Yeah,
not
you can go ahead and
sure.
sit down. Yeah.
You're not sure. Come on, man.
I don't know. It would be.
I'd like to remind the newcomers in the back that you must have your masks taken off.
Has he ever been in your vehicle?
No, I just bought it the other day.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Mr. Smith, you may proceed with your case.
Your Honor, the next person I'd like to call to the stand is, and excuse me if I mispronounce his first name, Antone Williams.
Okay, is Mr. Antone Williams here?
Can we get some food? We just got food.
Yes.
Okay. You can go ahead and make your way to the witness stand, please. Bailiff, if you'd be so kind.
Anton.
Alright, please raise your hands. Do you swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
You may be seated.
Mr. Smith, you may go ahead.
Sorry about that.
You apologizing about the coffee or the fire hydrant just exploded outside?
Both. Sir, can you state your name for the record?
I'm Anton Williams, also known as West.
Okay. Do you mind if do you prefer if I call you Antone Williams, West? What do you prefer to be called?
Usually West, since it's shorter.
All right, West. Can you just tell me how you know Mr. Jones?
I kind of met him at a bar, really. We used to chill, and we became good friends. We had a lot in common. We both like cars and motorbikes, and we got off from there.
All right. On a professional level, do you currently work for PDM North?
Yeah, I'm a silent business owner, business partner.
Okay. In your opinion, do you think that Mr. Jones has presented himself in a way that would show that he is capable of raising a child in your time being a silent partner at PDM?
As my time from PDM going forward, yeah, like say, he's become more responsible in things he does.
Okay. Do you know the respondent, Nevaeh Shaw?
Kind of, yes.
Okay. Can you just explain to the court how you know Miss Shaw?
So I knew Daveon had a baby mama, but I didn't know who she was until after I met her. I met her on 2 occasions. First time was at Legion. I picked her up because she didn't have a vehicle, and whilst we were driving, she told me that she knew who Daveon was and that he was the father of her child.
Yes, he was.
I drove her to Pop's Diner,
yes,
where she then started to create drama.
Okay.
Yeah, he was.
In the short time that you've known Miss Shaw, has she shown any reason for the court to doubt her responsibilities as a parent?
Yeah, I don't know her.
Objection, Your Honor. He,
More grounds.
I mean, is he a character witness? He just mentioned he's only met her twice. I don't think he's available to really comment on her capabilities as a mother. He's really not an expert in that regard.
I'm gonna go ahead and we'll sustain
Okay,
the
I'll rephrase.
sustain the objection. Go ahead, just move on to your next line of questioning, please.
Dude, this is so cool.
Sorry, I've got to scramble through my notes here.
No worries. Take your time.
Take your time.
Justice cannot. There's a quote from a particular TV show I like. It's justice cannot be hurried.
Okay, Mr. Williams, West, have you been involved with Mr. Jones outside of the PDM business?
Yes.
Okay, would you classify yourself as pretty close? You know, maybe not stay the night together, but you hang out often?
Yes.
All right. In that time, have you guys ever shot at cops, robbed a store, anything of that nature?
I mean, there was times beforehand, yes, but I've never shot at cops. I've never seen Daveon shoot at cops. I've never robbed a store with him, but you know, maybe other institutes, yes.
Okay. So let me rephrase that a little bit. Since he found out that he was a father, has he been involved with any of that?
No, because he doesn't want to.
Okay, so would you agree that finding out that you're a parent would change your view on life and how you go about it?
Yeah, I mean, you can clearly see it with Daveon because before he knew he was a dad, we'd basically tell him, "Come on, let's go do some stupid things," and he'd be up for it. But now it's like if you ever ask him to do something, he'd politely say no, and that he's got a child to take care of and to look forward to.
All right.
Do you have the cruise
I have no
control
further
on?
questions, Your Honor.
Make sure your cruise isn't set.
Mr. Darth. Before Mr. Darth actually makes his recross here, I just want to try and avoid something we have with the last witness. Can we avoid trying to get the witness to state the same things over and over again? If the court has heard it once, we can assume that the court has heard it. I get you wanting to try and make a point to hear it out, but I would rather not be here for the next 12 hours while you guys reaffirm your points that have already been made, all right?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. All right.
Mr. West.
Yes, sir.
You said you and Daveon were pretty close, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so close that you guys commit armed bank robbery together?
Back in the day, yes.
Back in the day? About what day was that?
A few months ago. I can't remember exactly when, but it was a while ago.
Does May the 6th ring a bell?
I can't say exactly for sure, but it sounds about right.
Yeah, according to the arrest report that's already been submitted as evidence, May the 6th, you, Mr. Jones, and Ms. Petrova were caught with armed bank robbery. Do you recall that incident, sir?
I was never charged with armed bank robbery. But yeah, I remember fleeing and looting.
Okay, shows here armed bank robbery according to the arrest record. Maybe that's a clerical error you were saying?
Must be because I was only driving, and I was never at the bank or only met up with them afterwards.
Okay.
Could
Now,
just be this another time.
Now, would you agree that really utilizing any firearm in a situation, regardless whether you actually shot it or not, is pretty significant? Would you agree with that statement?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, would you agree that somebody that had done this maybe a few times has a tendency to, maybe not be best fit to raise a child?
When you say done a few times, what do you mean?
Is it your opinion that somebody who has been charged numerous times for either shooting at people or using a firearm in a crime would probably not be best fit to raise a child?
People can change their ways.
That's not what I asked you, sir. If you could just answer the question.
I mean,
Would
if
you
they're
agree?
constantly doing it, yeah, I would agree.
Can you define constantly for me, sir?
I mean, if someone who's, is going to be in care of a child and is doing it, yeah, I'd 100% agree. I don't think someone who's constantly in jail while looking after a child should not be a parent.
Okay. Now, if you had a child of your own and you knew somebody had done exactly just that, used a firearm in crimes multiple times just as recent as 1 month ago, would you feel comfortable leaving your child unsupervised with that individual?
I wouldn't necessarily judge someone because of their record. I'd want to find out who they are.
Would you feel comfortable leaving your child with somebody who's been convicted numerous times of using a firearm as recent as 30 days ago?
Not really.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor.
He's absolutely
Mr. Smith, would you like to
savage.
recross?
No, Your Honor.
I go take a seat.
Yeah, you can go ahead and take a seat.
Thank you.
Mr. Smith, do you have another witness?
Yes, Your Honor. I would like to call Zeb Sevi to the stand.
Deb Sevi?
Yes, Your Honor.
I can't believe they're in here wearing
Mr. Sevi coming up now.
green tie or orange tie. I said green.
Mr. Bailiff, there has been a request that you just speak up a little bit, if you are able of doing so.
Would you raise your hands, please? Would you raise your hands, please?
They're up.
All right. Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You may be seated.
I'm telling you, Darth absolutely terrifies me.
Mr. Smith, you may begin your line of inquiry.
Can you state your name for the record?
Zeb Sevi.
All right, Mr. Sevi. Can you just do you know Daveon Jones?
I do.
Okay. How do you know Daveon?
Same as Mr. West, so we met at a bar.
Okay. Do you currently work for him at PDM North?
Yes, sir.
All right. And do you know Nevaeh Shaw?
Yes.
Can you explain to the court how you know Nevaeh?
Yeah, I can. I ran into her on Elgin Avenue, walking the streets.
Is there more to that, or is that it?
And it looked to me as she was prostituting.
Okay.
Objection, Your Honor.
Okay, on what grounds?
I mean, accusatory in nature. Is the gentleman a police officer trained to identify what a prostitute looks like?
The court will take that into consideration, but I'm interested to see where this line of inquiry goes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I knew one of them was gonna say something.
Did she approach you at that time, soliciting herself for money?
No, not right off.
Not right off, but eventually?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever have a sexual relationship with Nevaeh Shaw?
No, sir.
He only saying that so
Okay. Have you ever had any other run-ins with her
his girlfriend don't know nothing.
outside of that one incident?
Yes.
Was it in the same nature, or was it?
No, she actually come to PDM and bought a vehicle.
Okay. As far as Daveon, you've known Daveon for a while. Can you just tell the court about how he was as a person prior to knowing that he was a father?
He was a wild man.
Okay.
Could you elaborate?
Yes,
on that,
please.
Mr. Zeb?
Like Wes stated before, he would do anything that that he was asked if the could do something. And now he's more worried about his kid, and he don't do nothing illegal anymore that I know of. And I'm around him every day, so if that means anything.
Okay, so you would agree that once becoming a father, you know, being robbed of the first 2 years of his child's life, he completely changed his ways and shown to himself and everyone around that he can be a positive role model for a child.
Correct.
In your opinion, do you think people change?
Yes.
Do you think us as individuals should hold past experiences against somebody that's changed their life and has proven so?
I do not.
I don't know if y'all can hear. He's not talking very loud.
Okay, Your Honor, I have no further questions.
Let me turn it up real quick. Darth will probably be really loud.
Do you have any questions?
Yes, sir, Your Honor. I'll ask you the similar questions that I'm sure you heard testified to by the witness before you. You mentioned you know Mr. Jones pretty well.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well enough to commit felonies with him?
Yes.
Could you say that one more time? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay. So you've been arrested before?
One time.
One time?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And when was that?
Right at a month ago, pretty sure. Maybe a little sooner. I can't really remember.
Okay.
Yep, but we're in court.
All right. And you said you've only been arrested one time, correct?
To my knowledge, yes.
Okay. Now, similar question again. If you had a child, would you leave your child unsupervised with an individual that, as recent as a month ago, had been convicted multiple times of using a firearm in a very deadly manner?
No.
No, you would not?
No.
Okay. Now, you claim that Miss Joan, or Miss Shaw, you had a run-in with her previously on the side of the street, correct?
Yes.
What street was that on?
It's Elgin Avenue and Adams Apple Boulevard. It was the intersection there by the gun store.
Okay. She was right there on the corner in front of the ammunition there?
Yes, I'm pretty sure you responded on a 911 call of a prostitution.
Who did?
You did.
Okay. I vaguely remember that incident. Was she arrested for prostitution?
I do not recall.
Okay. Now, are you familiar with definition of prostitution?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay. You know exactly what prostitution looks like? You do?
Yes.
Okay. Now, did you make the 911 report about the alleged prostitution that day?
I did.
Was she arrested for prostitution?
No, I don't think so.
So would it be safe to say that maybe your definition of prostitution may be skewed?
Possibly, yes.
Possibly.
Yes.
Okay. But it is your testimony that she did not receive a arrest for prostitution that day, correct? Okay.
Correct.
All right. No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. All right, Mr. Smith, do you wish to recross?
No, Your Honor.
Sorry, Mr. Zeb.
Yes, sir.
So you said you had an interaction with the defendant here, where she was soliciting you. Yes.
Yes.
Do you by chance happen to know what exactly she said?
No, I do not remember. It's been so long ago.
Okay. Did she was the implication of purchase there?
Yes.
Can you come outside?
All right, that's all I need. Thank you very much.
I have a few things to state about, if that's fine.
I'm not comfortable with
I'll-
it, Your Honor.
Yeah, I'm gonna allow it simply because this is a custody trial, and I'd like to hear what has to be said. If I don't think it's gonna be good, I'm gonna go ahead and strike it from the record. Okay.
So, 3 days ago, I was walking on San Andreas Avenue towards the clothing store, and the baby, Kizech over there, approached me, and his mother was nowhere to be found. I asked him where his mother was. He stated he did not know. And I was in the hospital just yesterday, or the day before, I can't remember. And the baby had wandered into the hospital, and again, the mother was nowhere to be found.
I'm going to object, Your Honor. I'd like that stricken from the record on the grounds that, I mean, obviously, if it was important enough, he would have called 911. I mean, there's no way for me to cross-examine to figure out the gravity of this statement.
The court will take what was said into consideration with your concerns. I'm not going to go ahead and strike it from the record entirely. It may come into weight later on, but I do understand your concerns, and they are noted, and I will definitely not forget about them, nor will they not have any weight in my decision. Okay.
I have one more thing, and then I'm
I want to watch the kid for a second. I gotta run out.
Okay, Mr. Jeb, go ahead.
There were no police officers on duty at the time of the kid being unsupervised.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you very much, Mr. Zeb.
Okay, thank you.
Bailiff, those doors are locked, right?
I'm not sure.
Which door, sir?
The doors to the courtroom. I'm hearing a lot of gunshots outside. I just want to make sure we're all secure in here.
Yeah, your cars aren't secure outside though. They stole all of ours.
Yeah, like that.
Oh my God.
What the hell's going on?
This is ridiculous.
Oops.
We're
Hey,
gonna
buddy.
take a short recess. Will they try and figure out what's going on outside?
Hey, buddy.
We'll reconvene in 10 minutes. So at 10:23.
You want a lollipop?
All right. I suggest everyone goes find somewhere to hide.
All right.
Isn't the courtroom pretty safe?
Let's go outside.
Your Honor, can I speak to you in your quarters?
Yeah. Is this about the case?
Yes, sir.
What is it, buddy?
Not without the opposing counsel.
Okay.
I know he just didn't.
Hey, will you guys go check and make sure my car's still outside?
Hey, can you unlock his door?
They're all stolen.
Everybody's car is gone.
Yep.
Mama.
Oh my God.
Hey, baby.
Good thing I'm a changed man.
You hungry?
Well, that's
You need
unfortunate.
snack?
I've got 3 guns.
Yeah, I need a
Yeah, no
snack.
kidding.
Okay, here you go, baby.
They stole everyone's car. Like,
You want some cheese toasties? Little grilled cheese?
Nom, 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 nom.
There's some drinks too.
Mama.
Yeah, baby.
Why won't they let me sit with you?
They just won't let you watch from right there, okay? Is that officer being nice?
The popo left me.
Yeah, well, there's something going on outside. That's why they had to open it up and let everybody go out. Okay. We just wait right here, okay?
Can I be a judge?
Well, not just yet, baby. You gotta be a little bit taller, okay? There's some shooting going on outside. I don't know what's
Because
going
I
on.
can't reach.
Yeah, you gotta be taller, okay? Cause that's a big old bench. Okay, so we just gonna wait right here. When that nice officer come back in, you ask him for a sticker, okay? You get that little sticker for your shirt. You can be a pretend policeman.
Popo man.
Yeah, you can be a popo man. Yeah. Yeah, baby.
They said Daddy went to jail.
Don't worry about that, okay, baby? Don't worry about it. Did you have fun with Daddy last night? With your little slumber party?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went fast in the car.
Oh yeah, you like Daddy's car, huh?
Yeah, it goes real fast.
Yeah. Yeah, I seen him pull up. Daddy got a nice car.
He goes 3 times as fast as Mama.
Oh yeah, we don't want to go that fast though, okay? We don't. You get the popo man will get you, okay?
The popo man.
Yeah, you gotta follow the rules. You know them signs. It's got the speed on it. It's got the numbers on it. That's what the speed limit is. You don't go too fast. The popo man get you.
Popo man.
Yeah. Yeah, when he come in here, you ask him for a sticker though. I bet he'll get you one, okay?
I'm gonna need a fucking gun at this
Is that my
point.
daddy?
I got you, Your Honor.
No,
Are you daddy?
that was Mr. Dawes. That was Mr. Dawes. Remember Mr. Dawes? Mr. Dawes and Jimmy to come pick you up from Miss Bridget's.
Huh?
Yeah, from Miss Bridget, the babysitter.
I just wanted to show that off, so go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll stand.
So I was.
Yeah, did you see Uncle Zebby over here? You come see him?
Uncle Zebby.
Hey,
Yeah.
Kizech, what you doing, bud?
Oh. You gonna be as tall as Uncle Zebby one of these days.
I'm already tall.
Yeah, look at how tall
Yeah,
you
you are.
is. We're having a little bit of a recess here. It's just so cute though. Oh my
Hey,
gosh.
Mama.
Hey baby.
I got a tinkle.
Oh my goodness.
You got
Oh,
a trickle?
They got a potty in here? Did they just lock these doors? Let me see.
Mama, I gotta pee.
Come on, baby, come on. We'll go find a potty, okay? Oh. See if you can come out. They only locked one door. Oof. Did you make it out? Okay, I'm coming. I know. Do y'all know where the potty's at in here? You gotta
What?
go potty. Do you know where the potty's at?
The bathroom?
Yeah.
Where's the bathroom?
I don't think there is one.
Oh my goodness.
Not that I've seen, anyway. I know. Oh, jeez. The only bathroom that I've seen in this building is in the jail cells.
Oh my goodness. We don't want to go down there.
No, I don't think you do.
Oh wait. Oh, where you going, baby?
Here, just is it for him?
Yes, for him. He got to go to the potty.
Maybe let him go in one of those
Oh,
potted plants.
Oh
boy.
Baby, you cannot do that. Oh my goodness.
Is he peeing on the hallway?
I told him to use one of the potted
Mama,
plants.
I see.
Oh
I
my
see
God.
You, baby. I see you, baby.
Oh my god.
Okay, no more drinks for you. Okay, we gotta have to wait till we get done. Oh my goodness, do we have? Is there a mom?
Mama, I want juice.
No, we go. Well, you just had some juice, baby. Look at all that juice you just let out. You just had a whole lot of juice.
Is that juice?
No, baby, no. Let's not, don't step into that. Don't step in that. Do we have a? Is there a mop or something? Is there somebody I need to call clean this up?
Sorry, one sec.
Is it you?
Hello?
I wonder if I can turn my volume.
Yeah, with the rainbows on it.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. He don't usually act like this.
Oh,
Mama.
Uh-huh.
Mama, she's staring at me.
It's because you're just so adorable. Look how cute you is.
Bubbles.
Let me look at you. Just stay right. Oh, stay right here, baby. Stay right here. Don't get down there. Don't get down there. Hey, come stand up here and I'll take your
Called
picture,
me, told
okay?
me my car's outside.
Come stand up here and I'm gonna take your picture, okay, baby?
I'm having trouble seeing the ground.
Where?
Come stand up on that platform. I'm gonna take your picture.
Mama, there's pee up here.
Turn around, look at me. Smile big. Okay, I got it. I sent it to Dee, okay?
Mama, she's saying bad words.
Yeah, don't say them bad words, okay? Oh my goodness. You ready to go sit back down?
Okay. Why the fuck did you punch me, you dumbass? I'm bleeding.
I didn't. Come on, let's go sit down, okay?
Yes, you literally just did like 5 seconds ago, bro. I'm gonna like die at
Daddy gonna be back in here in a minute.
This is not girl boss.
Hey, what's the status on
Oh
that
my
engagement?
goodness, are you running by yourself again?
No, we just went out to the little
right
right here.
What's the
Alright,
what's
buddy.
the status?
You want to sit with Uncle Zeb until we're finished here?
Want to sit with Mama.
It's okay, baby. It's okay.
I want to sit with Mama.
Look at these big seats they got.
Here's a silent dog.
You can sit here. You can lay down, and take a nap. Play your coloring books. Play with your little cars.
That everyone had their guns taken from them. I want you to just.
Hey, we have found the stolen cars.
My car wasn't stolen, just my
I tried to bring some of them back over here. What I could get on the time we had a break. My car's still over there. I haven't got it. I brought everybody else's back.
I'm just saying, going forward,
Alright.
I think that's how we should probably approach it, because from what I've heard and what I understand, they all put their guns in their cars, and then whoever these firm fuckers are came around and.
Danny, can you hear me?
Mama.
Yeah, baby.
Is that an explosion?
It's okay though. It's okay. We're inside.
Daveon.
Yeah.
There's some bad men outside, but the popo's out there, okay?
I guess Danny ain't listening to me.
Yo, you gotta go. You gotta go.
Hi, Daddy.
I'm not sure. That's up to the.
He was.
Daveon, your son's talking to you.
If they
Hey, Kizech. It's hard to hear up here. I can. Love you too, buddy.
I wasn't expecting them to call so many damn character witnesses, but I would assume you're
You
probably
doing okay back there?
If not, then surely they're running out of witnesses.
Yeah.
At which
You want to go get some ice cream after this?
to the stand and try to get you out of here.
So I got both the plaintiff and the defendant, and the respondent, but neither of the lawyers.
To just cut him loose. That's cool.
I don't. They're late. 2 minutes late.
Okay. How many more witnesses do you have?
Alright.
Sit here.
We did find all the
Walk with
stolen
me,
cars.
okay?
We tried to bring back as many as we could on the break.
Okay, you
But there's still
hang out
quite a
right
few
here,
over there.
okay?
You know, those cars have a way of finding their way back.
Yeah.
The guns, on the other hand, they're definitely gone, but
Oh yeah.
the court has changed its policy. We now have a box by the door.
Heck yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so
they
then here's what we'll do. I don't want you to, come all this way for nothing. So if you're done calling witnesses, I'll go ahead.
I don't really have any a whole lot of questions for him either. I just want him to.
This has been
Well then, yeah, I'll
so
call
much
you as
fun.
the first witness, Lieutenant.
Danny. You're 3 minutes late, Danny.
If you just want to ask him about the arrest from yesterday, I'll just have no comments other than that. Then he can get out of here.
Okay. Well, no, I mean, based off my questions that I had planned, because I was gonna have him just do a sworn affidavit, but now that he's here, obviously, I'd like to kind of have a back and forth with him. So if you see any reason to interject and cross-examine on a particular line of questioning, then feel free.
Alright, sounds good.
All right, come over here.
Who is this?
How do you feel about taking the stand?
Who's this officer I'm supposed to have?
I can do it if I need to. I don't want to have to, but I will if you need me to.
Okay.
Oh, you know, street,
Since Daveon took the stand, I think it would look better if you did. And I'll just keep it simple. I'll just kind of ask you very simple questions, specifically about the Saturday small group sessions, your willingness to do any and everything for your child.
Yeah, it's locked.
Okay.
Okay.
And again, if during cross-examination they want to ask you about drugs, then do what we talked about.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
They're calling court back to order if you want to get in here.
Alright.
You're gonna be the bailiff.
Mr. Smith, do you have any other witnesses or anything you'd like to bring forward?
Disregard that.
Jesus Christ.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Oh, is this my officer? How you doing, officer? What's your name?
Officer, witness, everything.
Yeah, he's about to be a witness, Your Honor.
Oh, that's okay. We don't need a bailiff that bad. You can go back to the gallery. That's fine.
Do you want me to be the bailiff?
That bad on recruitment, eh, Chief?
A little bit.
Scoot over if you need me
Sound
to.
bad. All right, Mr. Smith, sorry, didn't quite hear you. Are you ready to go then, or?
So sorry about her behavior. Did not mean for that to happen.
Can we get these dogs out here?
Yeah, ma'am.
Allergic
There's no dogs in the courthouse.
Your Honor, I have no more witnesses.
Okay, I'm gonna be more specific than no dogs. I'm gonna say no pets. Otherwise, I know some cheeky bastard is gonna come in here with a rooster and it's not gonna shut up. Okie dokie. In that case, Mr. Darth, you may go ahead and begin your case.
Okay. Your Honor, we'd like to call Lieutenant Jim Street to the stand.
Mr. Street, or Officer Street, rather, you may go ahead and take the stand.
Stop pushing it my fucking seat.
Can y'all quiet down back there?
Before you do so, can I get you to put your hands up for me? You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yep.
Fantastic. Go take a seat.
Make sure you're yelling, officer.
No, I'm gonna stay here.
Oh my gosh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's good.
Yes, sir.
Can you state your name for the record?
Lieutenant Jim Street.
Okay. So you're a lieutenant with the Los Santos Police Department?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How long have you been with the department?
Roughly 4 months.
Okay. In those 4 months, have you found yourself involved in any drug arrests?
Yes, sir.
Can you put a rough number on the amount per se?
I'd say anywhere from 3 to 5 ish.
3 to 5. Okay. Now, did you have prior law enforcement before joining the Los Santos Police Department?
Yes, sir.
And how long were you in that city?
Over a year and 3 months.
Okay. And did you also experience drug-related arrests with that department?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
This is Brian.
I'm going to
on
submit
the
into
stand right
evidence
now.
the arrest report of Miss Shaw, Your Honor.
Okay. And who is Miss Shaw?
The defendant, Your Honor.
My apologies.
Is he still streaming? I think he was.
I definitely misspelled her name. My apologies. All right.
Okay, Mr. Street. Let me send this to you real quick so you have it. All right. Okay. Do you have that record in front of you?
Yes, sir.
These freaking spiders, man! I tell you. Okay. You recall the arrest that occurred roughly 24, 26 hours ago?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you walk us through kind of your patrol and the events leading up to that arrest?
Oh yeah. So last night I was on patrol. I was up around the northwest part of the city, just driving around, making sure there's nothing going on. And then I received a 911 call stating that there was a gray or silverish color four-door sedan that had possible drugs in it near the Legion PG area. So I responded down there to that.
Okay. And we've already established, based off of another submitted evidence of a 911 call, that it was Mr. Jones, the plaintiff, who had made that 911 report.
That is correct.
Okay. Okay, you can continue.
Once I arrived on scene, I spotted the four-door sedan that was reported, along with another car that looked like it had about 4 or 5 other individuals in it. Activated my emergency equipment and initiated a stop on her. Walked up to the vehicle, and then upon arrival in the vehicle, I did witness Miss Shaw there. She asked me what was going on. I asked her to step out of the vehicle just to talk to her. I explained to her why I was there, and she said that she didn't realize that anything was called in on her. She didn't really know what was going on. She was kind of confused on why someone or something had been called in on her regarding drugs. So I asked her about it. I said, do you use that stuff? Do you engage in any of that activity? She stated that she doesn't. I asked her if I could search her vehicle with her consent. She did say yes. And then I conducted a search of the vehicle. When I started the search, I started on the passenger side as the 911 call came in and stated that the drugs and paraphernalia were in the glove box. Upon entering the vehicle with Ms. Shaw's consent, I discovered the items in her glove box. I continued doing a thorough search of the vehicle, going through everything. And then I went back to her and explained to her what I found, and I took her into custody.
Okay. All right. Now, a few things. You said that she gave you consent to search the vehicle?
Yes, sir, she did, with no hesitation.
Okay. Now, in your experience as a law...
Your Honor, can we move to have the 2 females in the middle row removed from the courtroom for flash photography and nonstop communication?
Here's what I'll do. Ladies, if you can't stay off your phone and stop taking pictures, if you can't stay quiet, I will have you removed from the court, okay? Alright.
So you may proceed.
You continue. Mr. Smith, if they continue to be a nuisance, I can't hear them all the way up here. So if they continue to be a nuisance, please let me know and I'll have them thrown out.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Now, in your experience as a law enforcement officer, when people are usually up to no good, or maybe have a history of criminality, or maybe even if they are first-time offenders, do they normally give you consent without hesitation to search their vehicle?
No, sir, they don't.
Okay. Now, to your recollection, did Miss Shaw have any prior drug convictions or charges or anything of that nature?
No. When I ran her name through the MDT, she didn't even come up.
Okay.
Not even a speeding ticket.
Okay. So it was a perfectly clean record.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Okay. Now, again, in your experience, especially relating to drug calls, how many calls do you typically get with as much description as we see in the 911 call that came through?
Not much at all.
Okay. From your experience, what do they typically look like? In terms of any descriptive details, or can you give us a little insight as to what a typical drug call looks like?
Typically, it's more of like I've seen someone do a hand-to-hand transaction. Transaction meaning there was something exchanged between two or more people, and then I kind of got to do my own investigation if there's anyone still on scene when I arrive, and kind of do my due diligence on investigation from there.
Okay. Alrighty. Um, and so, in your experience, did Miss Shaw look like she was under the influence of drugs at the time?
No, sir.
Okay. Did you have any kind of toxicology or blood test done to determine that?
I did not. Just based on my experience, I can typically look in someone's eyes and see if they're under the influence by reading their pupils.
Okay.
Excuse me.
And you got no such indication that Miss Shaw was under any kind of influence of narcotics?
That's correct. I didn't get any evidence of that.
Okay. Now you said you found a crack pipe in there, correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you recall if the crack pipe had been used?
It didn't look like it had been.
Okay. Alrighty. Now, again, in your professional experience, based off your testimony here today, did 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 Miss Shaw present any signs or indications that she was trying to hide anything?
No, not at all. Like I said, she let me search her car and her person willingly.
Okay. All right. And again, is that any kind of suspicious behavior regarding criminal behavior? I mean, do criminals typically do that in your experience?
No, they typically refuse up until the point where I have to take them into custody and detain them, and then at that point they're forced to. They don't have a. They don't have a right.
Excuse me.
I have to. I mean, I can search them at that point.
Okay. Now, was it your opinion that Miss Shaw was displaying attitude in the regard of not even realizing that there was anything in the glove box?
No, she. Me when I came back after conducting my search, she was just as shocked as I was to find it, and I had no idea that it was even in there.
Now, you say you were shocked. What made you shocked?
Just with my experience, I know what a avid drug user can look like, one that's been on drugs for a while, and she doesn't present to me as that as a a continuous drug user.
Okay. Now, when you say continuous drug user, we talking one baggie? We talking three baggies in your experience?
I would say multiple baggies, multiple times a day. An average drug user, I would say, probably uses 5-6 bags a day.
Okay. In your experience, would you say a first-time drug user would be in possession of 3 baggies of meth?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. No further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Smith.
Lieutenant Street, I'm not gonna keep you too long. I know you're busy and you have somewhere that you need to be. Can we just briefly talk about that very last question? Can you just restate your statement? Actually, can I just have you restate your question?
Yeah. The question. Can you hear me? Okay, Lieutenant? Yeah, the question was, in your experience as a law enforcement officer, you know, even if it was a first-time use of methamphetamines, is it typically, are they found in possession with multiple baggies of methamphetamines?
No, they are not.
Okay. Does that satisfy, Counselor?
Yes.
Okay.
So you're, in your opinion, a user wouldn't have multiple bags, correct? All right. At what point, and you're the law enforcement officer here, at what point how many bags justifies intent to sell?
I want to say it's 10 or more.
Okay, so anything less than, we'll say 9 or less, is considered personal use.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's personal use.
But if 10 is the cutoff to intent to sell, that would recommend that 1 through 9 is personal use, correct?
I mean, it's all for your interpretation, I guess.
That is not true. That is actually how the law is written verbatim. So we'll go ahead and eliminate the question here. Yes, 9 and less is considered personal consumption.
Okay. Can you tell me how many baggies you found in Miss Shaw's glove box?
3.
Okay. And you didn't have any toxicology reports or anything like that done by the hospital staff?
No, I did not.
So at this point, you're going solely based off of pupil dilation?
That is correct.
Okay, can you tell me, was her pupils smaller? Were they enlarged? Were they normal?
They were normal to me, and having conversation with her, she seemed to be talking normal. Wasn't having any slurred speech or anything like that.
All right, can you just give me 1 second? I got to pull up the rest of her arrest.
Take your time. While he pulls that up, I just have a question for both the plaintiff and the respondent themselves. Mr. Plaintiff, in the event that you win custody, are you at all suing for? So are you suing for support?
I am not, Your Honor.
Okay, and Ms. Shaw, are you in any way countersuing for support?
I would just like him to pay a little bit of child support.
Can you speak
You're going to have to
hello?
yell.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. I can hear you now.
Yes. He has not financially supported this child until just recently. I would just like a little bit of support for our child, you know, to help get him clothes and what he needs.
It was my understanding he just recently found out about this child. Is that true?
He found out about the child while I was pregnant, and he chose not to be there until recently.
All right. We'll dive into that later. Okay.
Absolutely.
Are you ready to move forward then, Mr. Smith?
Yes, I am. I've just got one more question.
I was whispering still.
Can you just list the entirety of the charges that you charged her with?
Yeah, let me check my notes.
You're fine. Take your time. I mean, I guess I can just skip to my point. In your arrest record, you stated that there was a child in the front seat with no child restraint in the vehicle.
That is correct.
Was she charged with anything along the lines of child neglect?
To my knowledge, there's nothing in there for child endangerment or anything.
Okay. I would suggest the court update that and to include child endangerment.
The court will take that into consideration.
I would object, Your Honor, but well, no, I was gonna say I would object to testifying, but under the circumstances, I actually agree with it.
just for everyone's edification, where law is not specifically stated in the state Title II Criminal Code or various other titles, we do fall servant to federal laws as well.
Okay.
An officer on the street may not know that, but that is the reason why it would not necessarily be explicitly found in Title II.
Absolutely. With that being said, I have no questions for you, Lieutenant.
Mr. Darth, do you wish to recross?
Yes, sir. Just one or two quick point of clarifications.
Better not be the same questions, or I'm kicking you off that stand.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. I will try my best, Your Honor. Amnesia is a crazy thing. Okay, Lieutenant Street. Touching upon what counsel just reflected on. So you annotated in your report that there was no child restraint seat in the vehicle.
That's correct.
Okay. Did you ask Miss Shaw why there wasn't one?
I did not at the time.
You didn't at the time, but you felt it was necessary to include in the report.
I did.
Okay. And why is that, sir?
Well, based on my reports, I try to put as much detail and everything that I find in throughout an investigation into my reports.
Okay. So just because you put it in the report doesn't necessarily mean that you were necessarily trying to charge with a crime, or it reflects your opinion that it was something wrong. Would you agree with that?
That's correct. While when I was pulled up on her, the car wasn't moving. So I know some people may have a child sit in the front seat and just hang out, and then they would restrain them at that point before they move the vehicle, in my opinion.
Okay, so the car
wasn't in motion.
The car was not in motion, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, no further questions, Your Honor.
There we go.
Mr. Smith, if you would like to recross, now is your chance.
No, Your Honor, I'm okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Lieutenant, I do have a quick question for you.
Yes,
It wasn't entirely clear there. I apologize if I missed it. Was the child at the scene when his mother was arrested?
Yes.
Okay. And was there any indication from you that the child knew about the drugs?
Not to my knowledge. I didn't speak to the child either. The child was just holding on to the mother's leg, saying she didn't want, or he didn't want the mother to go.
Okay, so you arrested the mother without speaking to the child?
That's correct.
Because he's two.
Have you ever arrested Miss Shaw before?
No, sir, I have not. That was the first time I had dealt with her.
So you've never met her before, either then?
No, sir.
What about Mr. Jones?
I've interacted with him before. I'm not exactly entirely sure if I've arrested him before.
Okay. That'll be good. Thank you very much. Darth, you may present your next witness.
All right, Your Honor. We'd like to call Miss Shaw to the stand.
All right, Miss Shaw. All right, Miss Shaw, can you go ahead and raise your hands and just repeat? You don't have to repeat after me. I don't know why I said that. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Fantastic. Could you just speak up for everyone, please?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we're good. Thank you very much. All right, go ahead and take a seat.
All right, ma'am. If you'll just state your name for the record.
Nevaeh Shaw.
Okay, Miss Shaw. Now, are you currently employed, Miss Shaw?
Yes, sir.
And what is it that you do for a living?
I work for the city. I drive a truck for the city, just delivering goods and things. And oh my goodness, oh my lord, that was a really big bug right there. Scared the life out of me.
We appear to have an infestation issue, and perhaps I need to get an exterminator in here.
I'll be. And then I drive a big truck at the farm up there in Grapeseed.
Okay.
And just delivering hay and things, you know.
Alrighty. And while you're working, who's caring for Kizech?
I have a babysitter, Miss Bridget. She lives over there in Mirror Park, and she
Okay.
takes care of Kizech when I go working.
And is her residence in relative location to your primary residence?
Yes, I live right there next to the hospital,
Okay.
On Integrity, and then she lives right there at Mirror Park. It's got the little fountain in the front.
Okay. It's a nice neighborhood. Okay. And so I understand you became pregnant with Kizek sometime in 2019.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, did Mr. Jones know that you were pregnant and he was the father?
He certainly did. I told him when I got pregnant that had just started dating, and it just kind of sprung itself on us and things, and I told him that I was pregnant with his child, and then he just up and left, and I mean, I saw him a few times here and there, but I didn't see him a whole lot till he came here. I feel like he was trying to hide from me.
Okay.
He seemed awfully shocked when I saw him here in town.
Now, when you say he just up and left, did you have any conversation alluding to the fact that he was the father, or you just woke up one day and he was gone?
Oh no, we had been dating, for a couple of months, and I told him that I was pregnant and it was his baby, and he'd been the only one I was with, and just all of a sudden he said, no, it ain't mine, and he just left.
Okay. Now, Mr. Jones has claimed that he only found out about Kizek within the last few months. Is that true to your recollection?
No, he knew that he existed. His name's on the birth certificate. He just recently started seeing him. The last few months. Once we moved here, he started seeing him every now and then. He'd come by and visit.
Okay. Now, when would you say those visits started?
A couple of months ago, when we first moved here, I run into him on the street and saw him walking, hanging out with his friends. And I told him his baby been asking about him.
Would you say that he was aware of Kizek before or after the month of April?
I believe it would be around April. I believe when I moved to town.
Would you say towards the beginning of April or more towards the end?
I believe it was toward the middle or the end of April.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know exactly
now,
when.
before you moved here, so for instance, between the time that Mr. Jones left after you had made him aware of the pregnancy and the time that, say, that mid-April time, was there any point in time that you guys had any kind of interaction or conversation?
We just have some phone calls here and there every now and then, because we was off and on for a little while, and then, he'd go running around with some other girl, and I wouldn't see him for a little while.
And in those phone conversations, was Kizek ever brought up?
Yes. I told him quite often that his baby wanted to see him and missed his daddy.
Okay. All right. Now, has Mr. Jones provided any kind of financial support to you for Kizek?
Just recently, yesterday, he actually gave us some money to cover, past financials and things here recently for Kizek. Kizek was needing some new clothes and things and wanted to go to the store get a new toy. And he actually gave us some money yesterday for all of that. But up until then, he hadn't paid for nothing, sir.
So there was about would you say a minimum of 30 days between the time that was testified today that Mr. Jones found out about Kizek and that first form of financial support?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Now, do you have any kind of financials saved in the bank currently?
Yes, I currently have, roughly $11,000 saved up, and that's just in the savings. That's not, our apartment rent or nothing like that.
That's just kind of like an emergency fund, you would say?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. And you own a vehicle?
Yes, sir. I just recently bought a car. Bridget was letting me borrow hers for a little while, but I just recently bought a car and get us back and forth to wherever we need to go.
And so you would say, based off those factors, you would consider yourself a stable mother?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, Ms. Shaw, prior to yesterday's incident that we have gone over here today, I won't go into the details, obviously. Had you ever interacted with law enforcement?
Not in that sort of manner. I've talked to the officers every now and then, like as Mr. Zebby was saying, he did call some officers down to the sidewalk one day. That had a little jukebox out and was dancing, and he called them down there saying I was out prostituting, and that wasn't the case. I talked to them officers that day and just told them I was out here dancing, listening to music and stuff. But every now and then I talk to them, say hi and things, but I don't usually have any kind of interaction with them unless it's just chit chatting.
Okay. And now Mr. Zebby's testimony was that you solicited him for money. Is that correct?
That's what he said, but I ain't soliciting him for no money.
Okay. And it's your testimony that you were just having a good time dancing on the side of a street corner?
Oh, absolutely. He actually come down and was dancing with me that day too. And then Daveon came up all upset.
Okay.
I might still have a clip of that.
Just a couple more questions here. Do you have any plans moving forward if you were to gain custody, being a single mom, to try to help yourself out?
Well, I have thought about getting me a better job. Maybe go and work at one of these cafes or something like that. That way I don't have to work, both these trucking sort of jobs. But that's kind of what I've thought so far.
Okay. Now, are there any groups, any small groups or anything like that you've looked into in assistance for single mothers?
I actually go to a little group on Saturday mornings for single mothers. Is that what you're talking about, Mr. Doth?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I go to the single mothers group. It's we call it the Smile Club. It's single mothers imposing lasting endearment. It's one of those little groups for single moms, and we come up and kind of have a little get together and just try to bring our kids up in a loving environment, regardless of if they have a daddy in their lives or not. Okay, we have little activities for them, and us mamas, we just all get together and try to support each other.
Okay. Now, is that a 501c group?
Yes, it is, Mr. Doth.
Okay, so it's kind of an assistant ministries of sorts that helps single mothers, I would assume.
It sure does. It sure does.
Okay. Okay. Now, Ms. Shaw, would you say you have a great relationship with your son, Kizech?
Oh, I absolutely do. I absolutely do. Now, last night was the first night that he spent away from me, and I was beside myself. I'm not gonna lie. I was very upset. He stayed the night with his daddy, with all that going on, and his grandmama. But that's the first night that he spent away from me since he's been born.
And do you recall Lieutenant Street's testimony as to how Kizech was reacting when he was placing you under arrest?
Yes, he was very upset, and I told Kizech he gonna have to go with his daddy and his Uncle Zebby, and that it was gonna be okay. We was gonna get this all worked out. But he's gonna go hang out with his daddy for a little while.
Okay. Okay. No further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Smith.
Oh man.
Miss Shaw, you stated that you had two jobs. One was a delivery driver for the city, and the other one was farming.
Yeah, I drive a big truck for the city, and then I drive a truck for the farmers too. It's really the same sort of thing. You gotta have one of them big truck license. You gotta get one of them so you can drive that big truck. And I deliver whatever they need to for there, and then I go to the farm sometimes if they need some help delivering from there. But it's it's really just just the same sort of work.
All right. The job for the city, I assume that you have a W-2 to prove that you were employed there. Farming is kind of tricky. Do you have a 1099 or anything like that to provide an income status for that, if asked from the court?
I'm sure you could contact the farmer. He could probably get you something like that. I just started working for him whenever I got here this year, so I ain't got any of my tax paperwork yet.
Okay. Let's jump into your arrest yesterday. It is no secret that Mr. Jones had the concern from his child, so he wanted to make sure that his child was safe. I'm not necessarily too worried about the drug charge. Like I said, towards my client, everybody makes mistakes. I'm more concerned about the restraint system that was missing from the vehicle. Now, it is my understanding you weren't moving when you were stopped, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So legally, I mean, if you weren't moving, the restraint system's not needed. My question is how did you get there?
Objection, Your Honor.
Under what grounds?
No, we've already established that there is no Title II penal code regarding child restraint systems or safety systems in vehicles that are moving.
Do you have an answer for that, Mr. Smith?
Yeah, I was told that we also go by federal law as well.
That is correct. I'm going to overrule your objection, Mr. Jack. You may continue, Mr. Smith.
Okay, Ms. Shaw, do you need me to repeat the question?
No, sir. I heard your question. So my apartment is just right up the hill from where we was at. They're at Legion Square, and I just gotten Kizech from Miss Bridget, and come down there, and I was parked my car right there next to the square, and I hadn't got my car seat from her. She was gonna have to bring that car seat back in so we could put it in the back seat, 'cause we had to switch it back and forth. She ain't got one for her car. We just had to switch it. And I got in the car, and he was just hanging out in the car seat, the seat in the car, waiting on us to get there. We hadn't moved or nothing. We was just sitting there parked when that officer come up behind us and started saying somebody called in on us.
Okay, so Miss Bridget, she picks up and drops off the child. Then I'm assuming by your statement.
So if I had to go to work or something, then yeah, she'll come by the apartment, pick him up, and take him over to her house, and then a lot of times I go pick him up when I get done. And we just have to move the car seat back over to whichever car we're driving.
Okay.
Just making it up as I
so
go.
How long has Miss Bridget been babysitting for you?
Well, she's been babysitting for me for a few months now. I had a friend that already lived in town, that had been using her for her child, and when I came here, she recommended Miss Bridget, and said she's a good lady. You could trust her. Kizech can go over there and hang out, and she's been a real nice lady this time. I hate testifying even in real life.
Okay, so I guess my only question is if she's been babysitting for a few months and you've got the one car seat that you have to switch back and forth between vehicles, the person taking Kizech out of the child restraint system doesn't think to take the restraint out of the car?
I'm sorry, was that a question?
Yes.
I'm actually kind of with her. What part of that was the question?
So do you not think about taking the restraint system out of the car as you're taking Kizech out of the restraint system?
Well, typically we take the car seat out and we switch it over to the cars, but we was at the park and he was all excited about being there and was wanting to run out and play in a little water fountain. and we was just in a hurry to do it yesterday, and just didn't think about it. Sorry.
Okay. And you stated that um, Daveon Jones knew about this child from pregnancy,
Yes, he did.
and that you've never received any child support from him up until recently.
Not until yesterday.
Okay. And you've had phone conversations with Daveon within the last 2 years or so?
Yes, yes. Off and on the last couple of years.
Okay. I mean, I didn't subpoena your phone records. I don't necessarily care too much about the conversations. My question to you is, out of 2 years, that he knew, in your opinion, knew that he had a child, you didn't consider subpoenaing the, writing the court for child support or any sort of support payment?
Well, I was supporting him on my own. I do whatever I need to do to take care of my child.
Okay, so what made you move back to town and find Daveon?
Well, I was just looking for something new, and like I said, my friend lived here in town, and I just came for a visit, and I really liked the atmosphere and stuff here. Everybody was real nice and things, and then I ran into Daveon, and we kind of started chit chatting a little bit. We thought maybe we'd try to work things out for Kizech, and it was going smooth there for a little while, and then it just goes right back to it. I just can't have my baby around all that mess.
Okay, so you've never been to this area prior to moving here?
No, sir.
Even though your mother lived on Grove Street?
Yeah, my mother lives here, but I don't live here. I don't even talk to my mama, okay? She all up in that mess.
Okay. Are you aware that Daveon Jones was also born and raised in Los Santos? And has never lived outside of the state?
Okay. That don't mean he didn't visit.
Okay. I personally find it hard to believe that he...
Objection, Your Honor.
On what grounds?
Testifying? He personally finds it.
It is not wrong, counsel. You are testifying.
Okay.
Perhaps find a way to say what...
withdraw.
Say what you want to say in the form of a question, and I'll allow it. Otherwise, you're gonna have to move on.
This makes me nervous.
How long did you have a relationship with Daveon Jones?
Like all together, or how long have I known him?
We'll say prior to the pregnancy.
For a few months. We were seeing each other for a few months before I got pregnant.
And in that time, did he ever tell you where he was from?
No, we didn't discuss sort of things. We were a little busy elsewhere.
We can see. So in the few months that you had a sexual relationship with Daveon Jones, I assume that this took place out of this state, in your opinion?
I would say so, yes.
Okay. I've got no further questions, Your Honor.
You're traveling.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Mr. Darth, do you wish to lead us down the path of recross-examining?
No, sir, Your Honor.
Okay, fantastic.
I think
rollers are broken.
Oh yeah, all the chairs have broken rollers. It's okay. Miss, it is Miss, yeah. Miss Shaw.
Yes, sir.
Miss Shaw, it is Miss. I just want to make sure.
Yes.
Okay, I just had a few quick follow-up questions. So obviously, Mr. It's your take that Mr. Jones over here was aware of the child before a month ago.
Yes, he certainly was.
Okay, and how was the relationship when the two of you were together?
It was okay. It was a little rocky sometimes. We've never been, very good together. We tend to do a little bit of arguing and things. We try not to do it in front of the baby, but we just can't seem to get along for very long,
Okay. And did those arguments ever become anything more than arguments?
Well, they they were he did raise his voice a few times, but we try not to hit on each other or nothing like that, no sir.
And you never, obviously, I'm assuming by your statement, then that means you also never hit on him.
Oh no, sir.
Okay. Give me 2 seconds here. Let me refer to my notes.
I don't think we've ever beat each other up. We've beaten each other up as different characters, but they always talk about they go.
Actually, no, I think that's it's good for me for now. What previous work? Actually, no, I lied. Sorry. What previous work experience do you have? Obviously, I know you're trucking and whatnot, but do you have any other, like, because you say obviously you're new to town, so you're just getting on your feet. So what kind of jobs have you previously done in other states?
Well, I've been a waitress elsewhere. I did a lot of wait table. Worked at a little restaurant for a while, and that's pretty good. You make good money in tips, honey. Make real good money in tips.
Alrighty. All right. Thank you very much, Miss Shaw. You can go ahead and return back to your seat.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Darth, do you have any other witnesses you'd like to call?
Defense rest, Your Honor.
Okay. We're gonna go ahead and move to closing arguments. Counselor, Mr. Schmidt, this is when you can testify. You will be permitted to go first. In case you are unaware, closing remarks is where you basically want to kind of close up your case. Close out your arguments and present everything that you have and what you think you have proved.
Peter, thanks for the cheers.
And why you think that is so. There's no time limit. You can say as much as you want. If you,
I'll try to keep it short. I know we're getting getting long here.
You can read my mind, so you can read my mind. All right, go ahead.
All right. There's no secret that Mr. Jones has had a criminal history. But it is also not a secret that he has attempted to correct those wrongs. I would like the court take into account the fact that he is crime-free since finding out that he is a father. I can attest that just in the short time that I have been his attorney, how much he's spoken about Kizech. He works hard. He offers his support to Miss Shaw as much as possible. I'm sorry, I'm having voice box issues.
No worries, take your time.
Hey, be quiet back there.
Shut your mouth.
Got a noise problem?
Yeah, I'm not sure who it is.
Guy back here in the colorful shirt. Right back here.
Sir, in the colorful shirt, unless you want to be throwing a Sal downstairs to think about your actions, I suggest you be quiet.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
As far as their relationship prior to the pregnancy, I do find it hard to believe that you have a several-month relationship with a person and not one time is it mentioned where they're from. In the defense's opinion, my client is this hardened criminal that's just had this vendetta against police officers. And that's just simply not the case. However, somebody who has had that much trouble in the eyes of the defense, I don't see where somebody would be taking month-long vacations for a booty call.
It don't mean
I
it's
also find it hard to
month-long.
believe that Miss Shaw has never
take
been
your
to
mask
this
off.
area, even though her mother lives on
Can you
Grove
scoot
Street.
over?
You know why? I got a whole backstory for that.
And as far as the house goes, my client does live in a one-bedroom apartment. He has stated that he will be buying a two-bedroom as soon as the case is over. I would like the court to take into consideration that his criminal record is up for expungement. I do not feel that a criminal expungement where you could legally buy a gun again be held against them in a family court when it comes to their child. In cross-examinations, the counsel from the defendant states, he asked the question several times, would you feel comfortable leaving your child with somebody who has such a violent history? Of course, the answer is no. I would not personally leave my child with somebody who has a repetitive history of violence. However, we are not talking about my child. We're not talking about your child. We're talking about his child. When it comes to a father's love, there's nothing like it. I don't believe that my client, who has turned his life around for his child, would ever harm his child. And I would just like the court to take into consideration that we are not talking about other people's children. We're talking about his own. My client is fit to raise this child. We are not asking, I guess we are asking for primary custody of the child, but we are not asking to exclude Miss Shaw from the child's life. We just feel that it is in the best interest of the child to reside with his father. With that being said, I rest my case.
Okay. Mr. Darth, you can make your closing arguments. I'd also just like to point out that I will actually ask a few questions once closing arguments are made before I go into deliberation. But with that being said, Darth, you can go ahead and do your thing.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the court, appreciate your time today. I appreciate you hearing everything that you've heard today presented before you. We've heard from multiple witnesses. We've seen arrest reports. We've seen 911 logs. We also heard a bunch of opinions. Before I get to the opinions, I'd like to just once again go over the facts of the case. The facts of the case are, you've heard from multiple witnesses that were called by the plaintiffs that, as counsel stated, they would not feel comfortable leaving their child unsupervised with a person who has been not only accused, not only alleged, but arrested on multiple counts of assault on a law enforcement officer, attempted murder of a law enforcement officer, armed bank robbery, multiple accounts. Now, those are the facts, okay? And you may be right. You've heard today that people can change. You've heard that, well, he hasn't committed a crime ever since finding out about his child, supposedly. But the fact of the matter remains, right? A mistake usually happens once or twice, and you learn from those mistakes. Mr. Jones himself said that you are, capable of making mistakes that you learn from, and you don't do them again. But again, the facts state what the facts state. Mr. Jones had a continuously present pattern of violent behavior and violent criminal behavior as recent as a month ago. You heard from Lieutenant Jim Street that while Ms. Shaw has an arrest record of possession of narcotics, it was his opinion that she didn't seem to be under the influence. She didn't appear to seem as though she had used methamphetamines before this interaction or any of that nature. Those are the facts of this case. what you've heard from witness testimony, and what you've seen in arrest records in addition to 911 calls. The opinions of this case, held by this defense team, are the fact that very coincidental that that 911 call, which was proven to be placed by Mr. Jones, who seems to recollect maybe 2 or 3 times that his child had mentioned the word candy in reference to drugs. And miraculously, he took it upon himself to conveniently 24 hours before his custody hearing, finally decide to call police and report the drugs. You heard from Lieutenant Jim Street that the descriptions provided in that 911 call are very uncommon, rare, if I might go so far to say. That is not the typical drug call that police receive. Now, Mr. Jones' counsel came up here and just talked about the witnesses saying their child and made a point to emphasize that this is his child that we're talking about in this courtroom. And a father's love cannot be called to question. In my humble opinion, maybe it can be if we consider the things that we have been testified in front of today in this court. The fact that there were multiple phone conversations, that Mr. Jones was aware of the pregnancy. The fact that he was told about the pregnancy before he skated off on her. The fact that he also testified that he recently supposedly found out about his child within the last month or so, and since that time stopped committing crime. But it also took him 30 days to finally go ahead and financially support that child. Now, is that really how a father should treat his child? According to the counsel's statements here today? The defense would argue that that is not what a father would do. The defense would argue that a true loving father would take ownership and responsibility for the child that he helped create. Ms. Shaw was on the stand today and testified that she is a strong, independent woman. She didn't come after Mr. Jones to try to get any kind of financial support. She tried to support Kizech the way that she best could, and she's done that. She has a stable income. She has a place of residence with a roof over its head to provide shelter for Kizech. She has a vehicle to transport him to and from daycare. She goes to small group on Saturdays, helping single mothers get through life. That's what it looks like to provide the necessary well-being that a child needs to be brought up in this world. What the defense would argue is counter to that. What it doesn't look like is shooting at officers on more than one occasion, robbing banks on more than one occasion, fleeing from law enforcement on more than one occasion, continuing to hang out with people who you've also committed those crimes with, and part owners of your business. These are patterns of violence that the defense would argue that aren't really best conducive to bringing a child into this world. And it is based off those reasons, and those reasons alone, that we would ask the court to rule in favor of Ms. Shaw today when it comes to the custody of Kizech. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Last few questions that I have are fairly straightforward. Mr. Jones, I know we spoke about Mrs. Shaw's finances. However, it was actually never brought to my attention as to what your situation is for finances.
Your Honor,
Obviously,
I can't hear you over the guy in the back row talking.
Do I have any law enforcement here aside from Mr. Darth?
Corporal Dolan?
You know, ask Corporal Dolan to take the guy that's talking into the cells in the basement.
Do you know who it was, Mr. Jones?
It's the guy in the colorful shirt, back row, left side.
Corporal Dolan?
Yeah.
Would you mind escorting that individual out of the courtroom, please?
Gotcha.
It wasn't him. It wasn't him. It was the guy in the hoodie, the gray hoodie.
Oh, this time.
All right. How about this? Everyone, just please keep your voices down. Let's keep talking to a minimum and proceed with the court case. Okay?
Screw you! I'll kill you all! Screw you!
Oh my God!
scumbags! I'll kill every
Get
single
back.
one of you.
Get back.
Whoa.
Beat his ass, Dart.
Oh.
Oh.
Corporal Dolan, a little assistance.
I'll kill you, little boy. I'll kill that child.
Oh no.
You look like you had it under control.
He's under arrest. Don't worry. I'll take him to the cell.
Thank you.
Well then. Yeah, I got it.
You know he's not an officer, right?
Sorry for hitting you, Darth.
No, it's all good.
So I actually have a question and an objection.
What's that?
Are you defending this lady as getting custody for her children when she's been arrested in the past day for 2 drug offenses?
She has 1 drug
You're the
offense on her
man.
record.
I mean, she has meth and crack in a car.
She had a
It
crack pipe
just
and
got
3
released
baggies of
yesterday.
meth.
And you think she's fit as a mother? How are you gonna defend that?
Do you know who placed the 911 call, Corporal Dolan?
R.I.P.
The baby daddy did.
$1,000.
Exactly.
It
Oh
doesn't
my
matter.
days.
Conveniently, the day before a custody trial.
Okay. All right.
Bags on his
Her and our conversation was a lot different. She said she was trying to get better and all this other stuff. I just don't see the
So I was just
defendant
wondering,
as
we heard about
a
your
fitful
business,
mother.
your businesses that you own. However, we did not hear about your finances. We've heard that Ms. Shaw has $11,000 in savings. I'm more curious to know about what your financial situation is like.
My financial is about I have about $50,000 between my bank account and my savings account.
Okay. And how are your businesses doing?
They do pretty good. They pay for themselves and they make more than enough a month.
Okay. Which one would you say is your primary source of income?
My primary source of income would be PDM.
Okay. And about how much revenue would you say? How much profit for you do you make on, let's say, a monthly basis?
It just depends on how many cars we sell a month. I've not really had it a month to do that, so I wouldn't really know on that.
Okay, so it's a new acquisition then.
It is. But at Pops, I can tell you that we've made double, almost triple the rent this month on it.
Okay, and what is the rent on it?
It's 16,000.
Okay, so we're talking 45,000 approximately.
Yes.
What is your biggest expense? Like, what is your cost of living generally around?
My bills. I've bought quite a few cars now, so not including the cars. All I have is my bills at my apartment. Everything else I have is paid for.
Okay. All right, and Miss Shaw. Is your income with your current employment a stable income, or is it dependent upon how much work you do?
It's dependent on how much work I do, but I do pretty good working that trucking job.
Okay, and but you don't have any you don't currently have a salaried job though?
No, sir, I don't.
I don't think either of them are fit.
She did testify that she was looking for one, Your Honor, though.
Yes, yeah, I do remember that. We're gonna go ahead and adjourn for I'm gonna say until 11:35, so in 7 minutes. Just for me to do some deliberating and
thanks for
thinking.
the follow.
I appreciate everyone for your time, and we'll be back with the verdict.
All right, we appreciate you.
That kid needs foster care or a loving home. These 2 parents are not fit to be parents, in my opinion.
Oh my gosh, what a dickhead.
I mean, she's getting drug charges yesterday, and he's robbing banks with guns.
I mean, that is your opinion.
I follow you.
Well, that was more a fact, but
I mean,
Hey, now,
yeah,
leave me alone.
it's
I mean, it is a
not
fact that you
accurate.
robbed banks and she got arrested for drugs.
I robbed one bank.
Okay, hold on.
Y'all know
What's
where the chief police is at?
What's your do you have any officers available there for the lovely little gentleman in the basement?
Other than Corporal Dolan and 1 cadet, I do not believe so.
Have the cadet handle it.
Hey, nah, y'all police department's being sued.
7-Eleven. Who do I have on duty currently?
You okay, baby?
Fuck
What's
that
up?
police department. I get
Stranger
incendiary.
91
How you doing,
comes to
Nevaeh?
the courthouse real quick,
Yep,
please.
stranger
Did
danger.
anything
It's
accidentally get deposited into your pocket?
91.
Yeah,
Which
don't-
one's 91?
Yeah.
Don't go around them,
Sheriff.
Kizech.
Oh, the sheriff?
I believe.
Daddy?
You doing
Would
okay,
you-
buddy?
What happened?
Yeah?
Who got custody?
I'm gonna return to the
Daddy.
judge.
They're
What'd you say,
adjourned
baby?
until 5
Am I
minutes.
going to stay with you?
I don't know yet.
Where's
We're gonna
my
go get ice
little-
cream after this, though.
Excuse me.
We gotta go.
We're doing we're
me, Kizech, sorry,
doing GTA RP right now.
Mommy.
For those that just go in. Hey, baby.
Daddy said we
You
were
ain't
gonna
doing
go
shit.
for ice cream.
Oh, you want some ice cream?
Clearly I can.
Yeah.
We'll find you some ice cream later.
Mama,
Uh-huh.
I want to stay with you.
What she give you, Zebby?
Okay, baby. We're almost done, okay? We're almost done.
Oh, hell no.
We
That
just
man tried to kill me.
Hey,
I'm gonna take care of that, baby.
and
I'm gonna take care of that for you. You hear me, Kizech?
listen, they got him downstairs. The policeman got him. Okay? And then Mr. West over here, he helped snatch him up. Okay? They're gonna take care of him, okay? It's gonna be alright. So we're doing a
I think we should move to have that officer removed from the courtroom.
yeah,
officer?
they're gonna take care of it, okay?
Dolan?
Why?
Case we do it.
Yeah, we're at
I know it.
yeah, we're way
It's
too
gonna be okay.
far.
Yeah, you're gonna be okay, baby.
He's got a paper bag over his head.
Keep it on him too. Swooping
How you doing, my buddy?
Hey, Johnny! Thanks
Hey,
for the
Hayden.
follow.
You ready to go get some ice cream?
Are you watching?
Yeah.
Sorry, Kizech.
I want some ice cream.
Are you in here for the court hearing? Cause this has been great. This has been so much fun.
Too?
If you want it, you can.
Mama.
Yeah, baby.
He's downstairs in the cells right now, but I'm gonna be looking for him after he's out of jail.
Cake.
You want some cake?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get you some cake too.
What about me?
Did
Can
you
I
eat
have some
those
of that cake?
pops? Those little cake suckers?
Up and now.
What? We gotta wait till we get done.
I'm gonna take you and your mama out to dinner.
Going now.
Oh my goodness.
Kizech, calm down, bud.
We're almost done, buddy.
I had to run by the cat cafe.
Well, I'll tell you about
okay,
drinking that
okay.
coffee.
I give it to him.
I know you did.
Teas.
We'll get some cake.
Listen. We'll get some cake later.
You have cake?
Do I have what?
Give me cake.
Cake, I can get some ordered.
Your mama's got some cake.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Mama, you
days.
got some cake?
No, we had to get some cake in a little bit. I got you some of them cake pops. Did you
Daddy
already eat
said
them?
you had it.
You meant he didn't mean that kind of cake.
Yeah, different kind of cake. We'll get some.
What kind
We'll
of
get some dessert later.
We're gonna get you
Thanks
some
for the
cake, little
follow,
buddy. Okay, get you
Peaches.
some ice cream, whatever you want. New toys.
We're yeah, baby.
Can we go with Daddy?
Wait.
Oh my God.
Wait till we get done
Get
here,
some
and then we can get
cake.
some cake and ice cream.
In the courthouse. Still.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you eat your grilled cheese?
Hey,
I'll pack
Nevaeh.
for you. Uh-huh. Yes, Sebby.
You failed to let the court know that Daveon gave you money once
Yeah.
before when you showed up at the Pop's Diner too.
You failed to also let them know that you're pregnant again.
I feel like that is obvious.
Mama having a baby?
Yeah.
Yeah, with Daddy's attorney.
No. Sebby.
It sure the hell ain't mine.
She don't know who Daddy is.
That Daddy Darth?
Daddy Dog, probably so.
You wasn't why my kids call him Daddy Dorf.
Oh my gosh.
We call him Mr. Darth, okay? It's Mr. Darth.
You only call
Mr.
him Daddy,
Darth.
You remember Danny? You remember Daddy's friend Danny?
I don't know where he's at, but he's definitely going to be answering that question.
He heard that from you.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Put it away. Put it away. You do not. You do not
my
do
man.
that. Where did you learn that?
Hey, Kizech, let's go ahead and take a seat with Uncle Seb, okay? We got to go back up here and sit down.
Yeah, I may want to go out and look at y'all's vehicles. I think the people in blue are stealing them again.
Kill somebody.
Look, easy, Daveon.
Okay, don't repeat nothing you hearing, okay, baby?
Okay, Mom.
Yeah, especially don't repeat your mom after calling Darth Daddy.
So, there was like a month or two ago. I don't even know how long ago it was. There was a scene. Yeah, baby. I love you too, baby. There's a
Hey,
scene.
Doris, I got a question for you.
Listen,
Yeah, what up?
What's my baby calling you daddy for?
Oh, I don't know.
There was a scene where I was in a borrowed car. I borrowed. It's
Kizech,
call him Mr.
watch your mouth.
Call him Mr. Darth. Okay, baby. It's Mr. Darth when we're in here.
Mr. Darth.
Mr. Darth.
Okay.
Do you want to come sit next to Uncle Zebby?
Nevaeh, please take your seat.
Alright, let's get the show on the road.
So, there was a scene where...
Pretty sure everyone is eager to get out of here, so I'm gonna make this relatively short and sweet.
Hey, shut up!
I got
You
pulled
may
over.
proceed, your Honor.
Darth and Jimmy were in the car, and then I was like, I
I'll
gotta
make
go
this
pick the baby
relatively
up from
short
the
and sweet.
babysitter and told him where it was and
Child
stuff.
custody cases are never black and white. They're never simple.
And they went and picked him up.
This is
and
why
then
generally
play
we,
the sound of
we
a baby
prefer to
crying
go
when
with
they pulled up.
arbiters and arbitration over court to make a black and white decision on an issue that is always very much gray. With that being said, I've listened to both you guys' witnesses' testimonies. I believe I've understood well enough the personalities and the characters of the two individuals in question. I think both have a case. Obviously, having to cut through some of the he said, she said that comes with civil litigation such as this. Obviously, without us, it's not. We're not talking about criminal law. There's no proof beyond a reasonable doubt. This is a more likely than not situation, and what we're talking about here ultimately is the life of a child, and what is best for the child. With this being said, I believe the best course of action that the court is going to take is one that is not necessarily going to be shocking to family court. We're going to be going along the lines of what is called the status quo resolve, with a slight alteration, meaning that I am going to be awarding primary custody of the child to the mother, Miss Shawn. However, with that being said, it is going to be a 60-40 split. 60-40 split with 60% to Miss Shaw and 40% to Mr. Jones. It's my opinion that Mr. Jones has made a clear attempt to change his life over the past little while, and it appears to me as though the attempt that is being made is for his child. So, with that being said, we cannot deny the fact that Mr. Jones has substantially more resources than Miss Shaw. However, this shouldn't be the sole deciding factor. Just because Mr. Jones has more finances and more resources at his disposal does not mean he's more fit to be a parent. Obviously, he has a questionable past, and there's no doubt in that. And unfortunately, we do have to take that into consideration, despite the fact that it may not be necessarily what Mr. Jones would like to hear, because he is getting his record expunged, which I very much congratulate you for. However, when we are discussing the life of a child, we're also discussing the potential problems that child may have be it social problems, mental issues in the future. Ultimately, the best course of action is for this child to know and be in a relationship with both of his parents. So, for the time being, I'm going to award, as I said, majority custody, so primary caregiver to Miss Shaw, and secondary caregiver to Miss Jones. So he does have the right to 40%.
Objection.
Not even
This
a part
can
of
be
this
reviewed.
case.
Once the child has reached the age of 12, I will ask that you again go into arbitration out of court to try and come to a resolve, taking into consideration what the child at that age would then like to do, whether or not the child wishes to live with Mr. Jones or Miss Shaw, or whether or not the child wishes to continue to live with both. With this being said, of course, the other thing that needs to be addressed is child aid payments. So, Mr. Jones, because Ms. Shaw is going to be the majority caregiver, I am going to be awarding her child aid from yourself. However, given that you will be providing 40% of the, you'll be taking care of him 40% of the time, and she'll be taking care of him 60% of the time, it will only be to the sum of $2,000, which, upon reviewing your finances, is not a significant amount of money and should not impact your quality of life, but should be enough to aid the child for any issues it may have or any expenses that she may incur while raising the child on her time. With this being said,
What's the schedule for that, Your Honor? I'm sorry to interrupt.
it'll be monthly. Sorry.
Okay, sorry.
So monthly payment $2,000 to Miss Shaw. As I said, with this being said, this can once again come under review once the child has reached 12 years of age. I would like to strongly encourage you at that point to go into arbitration. As I said at the beginning, family law is a particularly messy situation. To me, this is a fairly obvious issue in the relationship, whether it be a lack of communication, as he claims he didn't know, or anything like that. However, ultimately it doesn't matter because we are not here to discuss who is a better person. We are here to discuss what is best for the child. And it is the opinion of this court that the best option for the child is the 60-40 split until he has reached the age at which he is capable of deciding what he would prefer for himself. With that being said, I think
I got a
for
question.
the time. Yeah, go ahead.
Does that go with the baby she's pregnant with right now too?
She's pregnant with another child right now?
Yeah, she didn't disclose that. It could be mine, or it could be his, or it could be this guy's. She hasn't had a paternity test on
Well,
it.
that's an issue that you're gonna have to address in the future. We're talking about just the one child.
It won't be hard.
You'll have to take everyone in the courthouse to court.
Okay.
Your Honor, I'm not going to stand for my client to openly be slandered in this court.
Well, then I encourage you to sue Mr. Jones for defamation.
We'll take that into consideration, Your Honor.
Okay.
Are there any stipulations that would consider the ruling of the court to be breached in the sense of considering that he has a prior criminal record? If he, again, is arrested on a felony charge, would that call us to reconvene?
At which point you can call this to reconvene, yes, if he is arrested again on a felony charge. Or if he does not make a payment, you can once again come to the court. However, I will warn you in this case, I would always encourage you to try and reach agreement through arbitration before court. You can most definitely bring him back to court should he present to be an unfit parent. However, at this point, I do not believe Mr. Jones has had the chance to prove whether or not he is a fit or unfit parent, as he has never actually had the chance to be a parent.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a good night. This court is adjourned.
Go ahead and sue me, Darth.
Mama.
Hey, baby. Yeah, well, let's go outside, okay, baby?
Oh my god, bitches.
Let's go find these
show.
Watch that door, okay? Watch that door. Excuse me? Excuse me?
Excuse you? Yeah, damn right.
You got to run over my baby.
Fuck that kid, bro.
Excuse me? Don't listen to them.
I need
Don't
a
listen to them.
popo. Where the popo at? Where the damn chief of police go? He tall as hell.
We're going for ice cream?
Yeah, we're gonna get some cake and ice cream, okay? We're just gonna let some people clear out of here. There's a lot of folk in there.
Well, I'm gonna go
Make
find
sure
out.
it's safe outside.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
You gonna go take him out for ice cream?
We're gonna get some cake and ice cream. That's what he been wanting.
Nice. All right. You have a good time.
We sure will.
Bye. Mama.
Uh-huh.
I want ice cream.
Okay, well come on. Don't be running when we get out here, okay? Don't be running. Stay right here with me. Okay? Now listen, there's some bad men out here earlier. So somebody's messing with some cars and things, okay? So stay right here with me.
Mama.
Uh-huh.
That Batman?
What?
That Batman?
No, I don't think that's a bad man. We just gotta watch out for them cars right there, the ones driving like that. We don't wanna, we're just trying to let people
That's
get out.
the way Daddy was driving.
Oh, well, Dad does not be driving like that. Not with you in a car.
He would go on vroom.
Just zoom in
Did you
super
just give
fast.
that kid meth or cocaine?
Excuse me, we don't talk about that in front of the baby.
That thing's running. Why is
you
he
ain't
running
give-
so fast?
I know you ain't give your kid no motherfucking mask.
No, I did not. He's had little suckers.
Oh my god.
She just gave that kid coke.
Kizech, baby, don't be in a water fountain.
No, I'm gonna shoot somebody. Fucking run Kizek over. They're driving in this bitch.
Don't be running in a water fountain, honey. You won't get all wet.
With what? My fucking sandwiches?
Don't get your shoes all wet.
Kizek, buddy, I'll see you later. All right.
Hey,
Okay.
Where Daveon
Love you, buddy.
go?
Love you. Bye.
Bye, bud.
Mama, can I go?
Where's Daveon? Where's your daddy at?
Daddy.
Did your guns get stolen?
Your guns get stolen?
Yeah, they fucking did.
Hey, do you know where Daveon went?
I ain't never heard of her. Let me call her.
Alright, come back over here, Kizech. Come back to the sidewalk. So, but yeah, that night that I
Hey, where
don't
you
know
at?
if I have it recorded. If I
Your
was
baby mama out here looking for you, so's your fucking kid.
streaming and stuff. But that night,
Alright, bye.
Darth and Jimmy.
Hey, did you win that case?
Yeah, we won. We gonna.
Oh yeah, good for you. Good for
Why
you.
your
You're out of
face
mine.
blue?
I'm a monster.
No, he's not a monster, baby. It's not a monster.
Mama's a monster.
It's just
Yeah, I'm a
it's
big
just a mask.
scary man.
He just pretending, honey. He just pretending.
No, that's not fake. My hair, buddy. This mask is a very big thing around here. You're out of mine.
Don't be telling him that. You're gonna scare
You
him.
see the Bruce spray paint on the walls?
Don't listen. Hey,
You
don't
see
be
the
saying nothing like that. Don't be telling him nothing like that.
No,
now.
I'm telling him what's bad and what's good. You know,
listen.
you see the Bruce spray paint on the walls? That's bad. That bad man did that. That was me. Okay.
Kizech. I told you stop. Step out the way, baby. Step out the way.
I'll slap the shit out of your kid if he pisses on me again.
Excuse me?
I'll slap the shit out of that motherfucker.
You Batman.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Let's go away from this bad man. Come on.
Now you little piss off.
Don't listen to him. I don't know where our cars and stuff are. But that night, they literally, like, they went and picked up the baby. We didn't actually have a physical baby to pick up. And they went and picked him up, had him in a car seat in the back seat of the car.
Kizech, you wanna go get some ice cream?
Yeah, we finna go get some ice cream and stuff. Which one of
Alright.
you was?
You going?
Yeah, I'll go with you.
Alright, you'll have to carry him.
You give me just a minute, okay? I was gonna let him look at this water fountain. You take him look at
Alright,
that water
I'll be in a
fountain?
car.
But they were went picked him up
It was this guy on
from
the
the
bike?
babysitter, and here, come look at this water fountain, baby.
You're not gonna get a restraining order
Go
on
ahead.
this
You wanna come?
motherfucker.
You wanna come
Listen,
take a
dude, you're not
picture
gonna talk
with
like that
it?
in front of my kid.
Come here, Kizech.
Excuse me.
You
wanna
wanna come
go
take a
around the
picture with
building?
the fountain?
I didn't stutter, did I?
Are you fucking joking me?
No, follow me over here.
You know who the fuck you're talking to? You got your buddies in the car here. I'm not fucking stupid. You want me to get my buddies?
Come on.
I don't have no buddies.
Come on.
You're getting out of the car. I can fight my own battles.
Go fucking sheriff.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Not in front of my kid.
Somebody is.
I said not in front of my kid.
Oh my God. Come on, Kizech. Let's go inside. Go inside.
Ra-
Go inside. Come on.
Come on, Kizech, get inside.
Come on. Run.
Come on, Kizech, let's run. Let's run.
Fast as you can. But it was hilarious whenever they pulled up, and I think Jimmy had the baby crying, playing.
If you get him, you see what he's got on him. I want my pistol back. Kizech.
Where'd he go?
He's on the stairs.
Kizech. It's hard to tell whenever he runs through here.
Where's your mom at? Is this your dog?
Here he is.
How you doing, Kizech? Kizech, don't kick the doggy.
Don't worry, Nevaeh, we got him. More worried about your damn
looked-
self.
No. In my eyes, he ran through them doors down there.
Come on, Kizech, let's go get some ice cream.
You go with Daddy, all right?
Ice cream.
Right. Here,
Do y'all want to follow us there? That way Danny can ride with us.
Yeah, can you give me just a minute? And
Yeah.
You want to stand up here, take a picture with Daddy. Come take a picture with Daddy on the top of that step. I'll get your picture real quick. So, all right, I'm fixing to cut this off and get real close, okay? Step over real close to him.
Hold on, I don't know what the hell I'm doing here.
You cannot pose like that. What are you doing?
I don't know. Kizech, put your hands down. Oh my God.
What? Just wave or something. What are you holding on to, Daveon?
I really don't know what's going on here.
Step over close to him. Alright, y'all smile. Okay, I got it.
Are you taking a picture or what?
I took a picture. Alright, give me just a minute. Hang out with Daddy for just a minute, okay? Hang out with Daddy for just a minute, then we're gonna go get cake and ice cream, okay? Alright. We are... Oh! Spicy! I was just literally fixing to do the same thing to you. Great minds, I guess. Oh, thanks for the raid. How's it going, everybody? Oh man, we've had an eventful night. We had a whole court case, everything else. This is Danny over here at the tie. That's Daveon's lawyer back there. Daveon's
Nevaeh.
baby daddy. Yeah.
Are you ready?
I said give me just a minute. You gonna get him in the car?
Yeah, you.
All right, go
you
ahead.
go.
Go.
Yeah.
Yeah, go
Let's
ahead.
go,
Get him
Kizech.
in the car, and we'll be out there. We'll go get you some cake and ice cream, okay?
You ain't got a two-seater car.
I
Where's
swear
my
to God,
car at?
Nevaeh, you take me to court for that kid you getting ready to pop to us.
But yeah, we had a whole court case tonight. This is my character Nevaeh, and that's her baby daddy, Daveon up there, and then that's their baby. One of our friends is actually playing the role of the baby. And then this is our other friend, Danny, playing Davion's lawyer. Darth was my attorney and everything. We had a great time. We had a great time. There was some people causing some trouble out here, out front. But I was just fixing to come over and I was trying to get everything ready. Was gonna fix to come over and raid you, Spicy.
Where's your car at?
Oh, it's parked over on the side, I think.
Actually, it might be over here.
You got him. Let me go see if my car's still over here.
It's over there on the other side of the courthouse, ain't it?
It was parked over there.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, I'm
mean,
gonna go over
Joe.
there. Okay. We'll walk over here. The little pet is it's hard whenever you sit in the car with that little kid pet. You can't see him. It's like you've gone through the floor. So they were like exploding everything else around here too, outside and shooting up everything and causing all kinds of trouble. So, but yeah, we Nevaeh, got full custody of the baby, like a 60-40 split, where he'll still have his visitation and things, and it's been a kind of an ongoing RP that we've gone back and forth with the baby mama drama on Twitter and on the street and things like that, just acting a fool with each other. It's been a good time. So we'll pull this up here, but we will see. Since Spicy sent you guys all over here, we will we'll check and see who else is here tonight. I know Brian is done streaming. He was getting off having to go to work. Netzel was on earlier.
Okay, this is ridiculous.
Gosh, that wasn't muted. Here we go. One of the guys that plays in production is streaming right now, so we'll go raid him and see what's going on in here tonight. Make sure he's still on. Oh, he's doing something different. Alright, what about Savage? Alright, Savage is playing in production, or is playing in Aftermath, so we'll get her. Savage. Alright, here we go. I appreciate all the follows. I appreciate the raid, Spicy. And I gotta go back and I saw at least one win on you there. I was trying to kind of multitask while I was doing this. But I appreciate all the follows, everybody that came and just hung out and watched. And but I'm gonna cut it off for the night. We are leaving to go visit Blitz tomorrow. We're gonna go meet up with them this weekend. So we've got like a 7-hour drive ahead of us in the morning. So I'm not gonna be up too much later tonight. So, but I'll send you off, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.